All right, suited up, ready to go. We got another banger on our hands here tonight as the Pistons are taking on the Spurs down there in San Antonio. It should be a good one. Pistons out there on the West Coast road trip right now, down there in Texas. The Spurs won the last outing. Pistons looking for a level of revenge down there in San Antonio. Let's go ahead and let's start the show. Okay, we are indeed back yet again because we don't take nights off. Are we a little under weather? Yes, tiny bit sick, little bit. Is it raining outside and making you feel a little tired? Okay, you know what though? We got a good basketball game on our hands. Maybe any other night, maybe the other night when the Celtics were taking on the Milwaukee Bucks, maybe I would have been like, you know what, maybe not tonight, but you know what? We got the Detroit Pistons taking on the San Antonio Spurs, so we gotta be live. We gotta watch this game. We gotta be here and tune in because it's gonna be a good one. And I don't want to miss good basketball games. Ahmed, what's up, Ahmed? Niall, Dimitri, what's up, Niall? Rafael, Torres, Benzino, Durston, appreciate you. Justice Dad, of course, appreciate you. Here we are yet again. We're going to start with the best player on the away team, as we usually do. And that is, of course, Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham, 25.5 points per game, 10 assists. Turnovers are slightly down, hovering around 3.5, but it's still up there. David Oz Jr., what's up, David? It's still up there, but I will give him credit for turning down the turnover machine a little bit. As a matter of fact, I want to pull up his most recent stats coming off his last game. I believe the last time these were updated was when they played the Knicks. So if we go to his right now, I'm telling you, it should be 3.5, Cade. Don't tell me it went up from 3.7. If it stayed there, fine. I'll take that. Rose, what's up, Rose? Hope so for a good game, but that hasn't been lately. With the Pistons or the Spurs, I could see it with the Spurs, but this should be a good game. His turnovers have gone slightly up to 3.8. Cade, you're letting everybody down, brother. You're letting everybody down, man. His assist up to 9.9. Still not at that 10 marker. You're letting everybody down with the turnovers, Cade. I get it. They got to get you other ball handlers. They got to get a coach that empowers his other ball handlers like Ausar Thompson. I get it. But he has taken the leap. He's been absolutely brilliant this season. Shout out Cade Cunningham. The last time they matched up with the San Antonio Spurs, he kind of got locked up by the combination of Steph Castle and Victor Wembanyama. You know who didn't get locked up? My guy Jalen Brunson. But that's besides the case. Maybe you should get a consistent three-point shot and then we could talk. His three-point shooting right now is sitting at 33%. So it actually went down. It was hovering around 34. It's now down to 33. Okay, I'm just keeping an eye on it, Cade. I'm just keeping an eye on it. Too many people putting you in MVP conversations, and I'm looking at it right now, and all your efficiency stats have very slightly, but they have gone down. Rose said Wemby barely shot the ball. He did indeed barely shoot the ball. He didn't have to shoot the ball in that game. The last one they played, San Antonio just completely wiped the Philadelphia 76ers off the board. I do expect the Pistons to give him more of a fight, so I do expect Wembanyama to be more aggressive, especially here at home. I think the home crowd would very much appreciate more shots from Victor Wembanyama. But the Pistons are tied for the best record in the NBA, taking on the Spurs, who are third in the entire league with their record. And so it is going to be a tough outing for the Pistons here on the West Coast to take down the San Antonio Spurs, which both teams are fully healthy. It is expected that Isaiah Stewart is making his return today. As a matter of fact, let's keep going. We'll get to Isaiah Stewart in a second. Jaylen Duren. Muhammad, what's up, Muhammad? Appreciate you, brother. Jaylen Duren having an all-star season, made his first all-star team. He's been fantastic. We've gone over this multitude of times. As a matter of fact, he's been the leading scorer the last couple of games as Cade Cunningham has struggled these past couple of games. Ever since the pressure got built up a little bit, he's in a little bit of slump. Jaylen Duren was right there to step up and eat up those points and rebounds. A double-double. He is now nearing 20 points per game. I believe he's up over 18 now, right? He's been hooping as of late. If I pull up his most latest stats, again, it's only been like 3 or 4 games, but it has changed pretty dramatically. Yeah, 18.6 points per game and up to 10.8 rebounds. He has been absolutely dominating the interior for sure. Trapped in the 90s. What's up, Trapped in the 90s? David Hodge Jr. said Tatum coming back tomorrow. What East playoff going to be? It is going to be an exciting time. Absolutely, David. Tatum expected to make his comeback tomorrow against the Dallas Mavericks. I wish we could watch that game. I really, really do. I'm actually even contemplating maybe we cover the first 3 quarters of that game. The problem is that it doesn't lead directly into the Knicks game. The Knicks game starts at 9, and the Celtics game starts at 7. So we only got 2 hours before we got to swap over to the Knicks game because, of course, Knicks take precedent over everything, unfortunately, for the Celtics and Tatum's return because that would be a great game to watch. But I'm contemplating maybe we just, it is what it is. We watch the first 3 quarters of that game and then we tune over to the Knicks. But maybe I just take the time because we can't cover the whole game. I just sit there, I enjoy it for myself, and then we come live for the Knicks game because we're covering the Knicks no matter what. It is what it is. Foong Pei, what's up, Foong Pei? Slap your like because I don't have the proper subscription to watch the game. I'm just going to trust whatever you say. Appreciate you, Foong Pei. Appreciate you. It is going to be a fun one for sure. I had to sneeze and then it went away. And then it went away. Worst feeling in the world. Worst feeling in the world. Trapped in the 90s also said he's very upset at the officials from last night. Yes. It wasn't a very well officiated game at all. It's really disappointing because you want those types of games to be measuring sticks against the best in the league and to feel like your team is on the back leg of that game trying to fight the officials and the players. Yeah, it kind of sucks. Kind of sucks. It is what it is, but David, I should to dribble and dab between games. I think because I rarely now get the opportunity to actually like sit down and watch a game without being live and covering it now. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down, I'm going to enjoy myself a good basketball game, and then we're going to get ready and we're going to go live for the Knicks game, and then we can talk about it during the Knicks game. And we're going to talk about it during the Knicks game. And we'll also be able to watch the ending of that game while we're live anyway, as we're prepping for the Knicks game anyway. So, you know, I think it'll work out either way. It'll work out either way. I don't want to have like people tuning in to that game being like, oh yeah, he's covering the game, and then I'm like in the middle of the game, I'm like, yeah, we're swapping over to the Knicks game now. We're not gonna cover the end of that game. Whatever. It's like I'd rather cover the games in full, unfortunately. So, the Knicks are playing. They take precedent over every other team in the league, even on a night where Jason Tatum is returning. So we're gonna cover the Knicks game. We're gonna do what we always do. Unfortunately for Tatum and the Celtics. It's not like the Celtics fans tuned in to a ton of Knicks coverages anyway, so I don't really feel too bad. Jaylen Duren has been absolutely dominant inside. He gets his partner back in crime, his partner in crime back in Isaiah. Wow, in Isaiah Stewart, who comes back from his 7-game suspension. Ausar Thompson, I mentioned him previously. Ausar Thompson has been actually spectacular as of late. He's taken a little mini leap. I don't think a lot of people are recognizing Ausar Thompson taking a little mini leap here, ball handling, finishing, recognizing his spatial awareness on the court has been fantastic this season, recognizing where he needs to be, knowing his limitations as a shooter, but reading the court really well and playing that dunker spot and cutting really smartly, really well. It helps when you have an absolutely dynamic point guard in Cade Cunningham. But Ausar Thompson is just absolutely becoming one of the most elite off-ball movers in the NBA. It helps that he has like a 40-inch vertical. He's 22. He's supremely quick. And he's getting his NBA legs under him in his 3rd season now. Taking a little mini leap here. He's been very good as of late. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to do this for every player, but I'm interested in pulling up his most recent stats because he's been on a little bit of a kick. Again, it's only been like 4 or 5 games since we updated the Pistons stats, but I guess that's enough for these things to take a leap. Nah, it's not too much higher. Yeah, that's why I didn't do it. That's why I didn't update it, because it's not too much higher, but still hovering around 10 points, 6 boards, 3 assists. But the lead this season has been very nice. He has done a great job of filling in whenever they need that extra ball handler, just need that extra guy. The combination of that trio, the top trio between Cade, Duren, and Thompson, development is not linear. These three guys, if all three of these guys pop, and it feels like Ausar Thompson is ready to pop in terms of his development and really take that next leap as a dynamic and elite role player, maybe even more than that. Maybe he could be an all-star caliber player. We already know the defense is there, all defensive level player. It's everything that follows here offensively with him. Obviously, he's a jump shot away from maybe even just flat out being an all-star next season. Who knows? I don't think that is like on its way very shortly. Same with his brother Ausar Thompson up there in Houston, or here in Houston as we're in Texas now. So I'm not like reliant on him becoming a legitimately good jump shooter, although it's never out of the question. Everything else offensively though has been spectacular. The passing, the decision making, all of it. David said, what networks will be showing playoff games? I'm pretty sure all of the regular networks have playoff games, NBC, ABC, ESPN, all the normal networks. Usually they break it up by conference. I don't know what's broken up now because this is the first year with the new TV deal. So all the new networks, it'll be the first playoff run with them. I think NBC gets the Eastern Conference. And ESPN gets the Western Conference. Usually though in the first round it just kind of bops around to every conference, to every network, and they kind of run their playoff games through there. But we'll figure that out as we get to playoff time. I'll look into it obviously, but it's going to be all the normal networks. It's going to be Peacock. It's going to be Amazon Prime. They're going to host some playoff games. They're going to force you to get subscription services. Is unfortunately going to be the case, David. They're going to force you to get all the subscription services possible. Bruce Fowler, what's up, Bruce? Doug Fresh, what's up, Doug? Let's go over to Tobias Harris, the elder statesman of the team. When they play really good high-level teams, Tobias Harris kind of struggles. He's excellent for those mid-tier teams and below in terms of coming through. He's also really good even against the high-level teams of like every now and again, when the offense starts to crumble a little bit, especially, we've gone over all season, they're not the greatest half-court team. They generate a lot of their offense through defensive stops and getting out and running and pushing. They're a young athletic team. Look at Cade Cunningham, look at Jaylen Duren, look at Ausar Thompson, three young dynamic athletes who want to get out and run. But Tobias Harris is not a young dynamic athlete at this point in his career. He's 33 years old, going on 34. He doesn't necessarily want to get out and run. He's more so of the trailer usually in those scenarios. But what he does provide in the half court, if everything crumbles away, at the end of the day, they could give it to him in the high post. He could turn and shoot that fall-away jumper. He's good enough at it where it's somewhat reliable. Obviously, you don't want a steady diet of those shots. He can get hot from that spot, and then suddenly the game changes because he's going off for 20-plus on mid-range fall-away jumpers, and then he's hitting the pump fake, and he's driving past you, he's drawing fouls. He can do all these things. Again, he's past his prime, so it's not something that they routinely rely on, but he's capable of providing some kind of a release valve for this team in regards to their half-court scoring. Henrik Huckleberry, what's up, Henrik? I bet Victor Wembanyama has the longest... come on, brother. Don't be weird. Don't be a weirdo, brother. Rafael Torres, what's up, Raph? Knicks fan. I go for the Spurs as a Knicks fan. Yeah, I mean, as a Knicks fan, I'm rooting for the Spurs, I guess. And not necessarily because the Knicks can catch the Pistons in the standings at this point, but because as a rival to the Pistons now, I got to root for their downfall. Nick Yaxon, can you believe the league said that Brunson didn't give SGA room to avoid contact, and he clearly was 5 feet away from JB, was said, didn't even flinch before contact, horrible call, and review. I saw a tweet that kind of phrased it perfectly. I've always tried to find a way to say this. I can never. The rule book, the referee's official rule book is specific yet vague enough where they can go to it and kind of manipulate the wording or manipulate the way it's phrased so it can kind of fit whatever justification they needed to fit in the moment. In that scenario, they can fit the phrase and the phrasing of the rule book into saying like, well, we technically didn't have, by the rule book, it says, and it's vague enough where they can make the language fit exactly what they needed to fit. In almost every other case and every other scenario, if SGA has one foul, they're calling that a charge. Fact of the matter is SGA had 2 fouls, 3 minutes left in the first quarter. They didn't want to give the MVP a third foul. It's a primetime national TV game. They swallowed their whistles. I would have respected it more if they just said, they missed the call. It happens. Move on. Because honestly, the Knicks still had a chance in the second half. It was a silly thing to do. It's a silly thing to do. They're just going to sweep it under the rug, as they always do. And again, the rule book has language in it in such a way that they can make the language fit whatever kind of narrative they needed to fit in order to make it seem like the officials are always in the right. Because that's exactly what they do. Almost do they never, ever come out and say, oh yeah, we got that one wrong, right? Why is that? Is it because officials always get the call right? No, it's because the language and the wording is phrased in such a way so that it can make it fit what kind of narrative they need it to fit, right? Bruce Fowler said, no way you get to see a lot of games called by Brini. We'll get a few. We'll be watching and listening to a lot of Reggie Miller and Richard Jefferson. Yeah, we'll probably get a lot of NBC games, unfortunately. Unfortunately, we'll probably get a lot of NBC games. Just that's the Mavs beating up the Magic just a little. Just had a Duke first round pick, and Cooper Flag was compared to Owen Brandon, Zion, etc. Dukies. Cameron Boozer is experiencing that right now. A lot of people down on Cameron Boozer despite him having a historically efficient college season in Duke. But they were like, he's kind of slow-footed. Like, are you guys watching Cam Boozer in Duke? Because that guy's not slow. Sean Dees, what's up, Sean Dees? Make it make sense. How about the OG charge? Absolutely. Absolutely, Sean Dees. Yep. By the letter of the law, the feet were not entirely set because he's shuffling the feet. He's not straight up. He's kind of leaning back right before the contact. So if suddenly we're going by the exact letter of the law, that is a blocking foul or at worst a no call, and it should be 2 points for the Knicks. But instead, after reviewing it, they wave it back and they call it a charge. My guy, Niall Dimitri, with a very generous super chat. Appreciate you, Niall. Thank you for that. He said, OKC and the rest versus the Knicks. It was a little bit of 5-on-8 last night. It is what it is. The Knicks had their opportunities at the end. Too many mistakes, too many missed free throws. Ultimately, they lost the game. The Thunder beat them. It is what it is. Now, were they on the back foot playing catch-up because of a horribly officiated first quarter? Yes. But outside of that, even if it wasn't a very well-officiated game the rest of the way, the Knicks still had their opportunities, right? Benzino said Knicks would have won last night if Cat didn't foul out and if Mitch played. Yeah, maybe the Thunder win if J-Dub plays. Maybe the Thunder win if AJ Mitchell was available. So both teams were not 100% healthy. I think both teams were sufficiently injured, equally injured in some regard. As a matter of fact, the Thunder probably a little bit more injured because they were missing their second best player and their second best ball handler. And their third best ball handler in A.J. Mitchell. So, all's fair. At the end of the day, to me, all's fair. Sean D said, not mad about the game. I'm just tired of the cap. I'm with you. Stop lying to me. Don't lie to me. Don't lie. Don't insult my intelligence by lying to me, right? Just say it. Just say, you know what? The referees missed the call there. Probably should have been a charge, right? Okay. You know what I would have said? I would have said, that sucks. Moving on. But instead, now I have to sit here, and now it has to be a talking point, because now you're lying to me. And I know you're lying to me. So, Cav the Massive said, who you got tonight? The Spurs won the last one in a close affair. The Pistons get not Ron Holland, Isaiah Stewart back. So, maybe the edge goes to the Pistons today, who are looking for revenge, although the Pistons have not been playing very good basketball as of late. Obviously they're still winning games because they're the Detroit Pistons, but they've been in a little bit of a downturn, especially offensively, struggling a little bit. So, yeah, I said not blaming the loss on the call, just saying how horrible the review call was. Yeah, review on the call. Yeah, it was bad. It was a bad officiated game. I mean, I went on my rant last night, and you guys know me. I always try to refrain from even involving the officials in conversations when we talk here, because I try to keep it like, let's just talk about the basketball. What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? Right? What are teams doing that are affecting the other teams? I try to keep it at that because ultimately that's what we're here for. We're not here to legislate the officiating. The officiating is going to be bad for both sides. It usually evens out as the game goes on. Last night was definitely in the favor of the Thunder. It was the most poorly, and we've covered a lot of games this season. You could check the backlog. It was the most poorly officiated game I've seen this year. It was bad. It was bad. Bruce Palestetta, and still no Deuce. Can you imagine a Deuce GTA backcourt, maybe too small to be on the court at the same time, but that energy, I don't think it's too small to be on the court at the same time because we've been running GTA Jalen Brunson lineup since Alvarado joined the team. So I don't think it's too small at all. At all. I think that's a dynamic backcourt, especially off the bench against other bench units. I think it's really good, especially the way they're playing defense. And if you have Mitchell Robinson behind them, Mitch can clean up a lot. Can clean up a lot size-wise. So, Yak said our defense was great again. This is good news. In the good news, it is good news. Yep. On the plus side, they held them to 103 points, and the referees helped them that night. And they also had an outlier shooting game from Chet Holmgren. Now, maybe they had an outlier shooting game from their other knockdown shooters, but ultimately, I think when all said and done, the Knicks didn't have a very good three-point shooting team. They're a much better three-point shooting team than they showed last night. Second night of a back-to-back, maybe they didn't have the legs. Traveling, changing time zones, traveling from Canada, from Toronto, down back to New York, whereas the Oklahoma City Thunder only had to travel from Chicago to New York. And, on their private plane, that's not a very far travel, not a difficult travel at all. The Knicks traveled far more to play their home game than the West Coast Thunder had to travel to play the Knicks at home on the second night of a back-to-back. So ultimately, the Knicks were in a deficit in terms of the travel logged there, but it is what it is. It is what it is. The defense continues to be fantastic, and we were missing two of our most dynamic defenders last night. And we continue to miss two of our most dynamic defenders in games like that on the second night of a back-to-back without Robinson, without Deuce McBride. So imagine what happens to the defense when those guys are back. Joseph Taylor, what's up, Joseph? Ron Holland's been spectacular this year coming off the bench. He's been great. Continues to be a liability from three-point range, but his ability to attack the paint, get to the rim, finish through contact has been spectacular this year in his second season. It's been the exact kind of development that they would like to see. He's improved on his strengths. Now, as his career goes on, they'd obviously like to see him improve on his weaknesses. It needs to improve on those weaknesses. You can't stay in the league or even become a starting level player if you don't improve on these weaknesses. But he's become a better defender. He's become a more aware basketball player. He's becoming a significantly better finisher at the rim. A little bit of a better ball handler as well. But boy, oh boy, you got to start knocking down threes as well, big dog, or else you're going to see your playing time in the playoffs limited. Isaiah Stewart makes his grand return after his 7-game suspension. And fitting, it comes against the San Antonio Spurs, where they'll be looking for some measure of revenge, where the last time they played, it was in Detroit, and the Spurs were able to just edge out the Detroit Pistons just by a little bit down the stretch there, as the Pistons just kind of ran out of gas at the end there. Now they're playing in San Antonio, and we'll see who has the edge. It's going to be a fun one. Isaiah Stewart, an integral part to the Pistons defense, an already high-level defense even without him. And then you throw him in there as one of the best rim protectors in the NBA. He's been spectacular this season. Nick Yak said, we are lining up for the playoffs, playing our best defense. Yup, I feel great about our chances getting the chip this season. I'm with you, Yak. I'm with you. I'm more confident about the team this year than I was about them last year. They are playing incredible basketball right now. Incredible basketball. Not good, not great, incredible basketball. Joseph says, Stewart played against my Cavs. Oh, did he? My bad. My bad, Joseph. So he's played already. He's back from the suspension. He did not play against the Spurs previously, so he makes a return, not the return, because he's back already. Thank you for that update, Joseph. I didn't realize he played against the Cavs the other day. But so Isaiah Stewart is back, and he's playing tonight against the San Antonio Spurs. He missed the last game against the Spurs, so it's a look that the Spurs have not seen before. So we'll see how they match up with Isaiah Stewart in the lineup today. Kevin Huerter is not really a part of the Pistons rotation. They traded fan favorite, team favorite Jaden Ivey for Kevin Huerter, a guy who does not play and is not a part of the rotation. I guess they got some asset for a guy who they knew they were not going to be bringing back next season. But they got him because they needed some spacing, and he's a 30% three-point shooter, so he's got the reputation of a shooter. Teams have wisened up to the fact that he's not a very good one. I don't even know what to say about Kevin Huerter. He's not even really a part of the rotation right now. YGE Headquarters. What's up, Headquarters? What's good, Headquarters? What's good, Headquarters? How you feeling, brother? How you doing today? Should be a good game. I'm expecting it. I'm hoping for it. I can't wait. I can't wait. Watching the Spurs is fun. Pistons can be fun when they play a really good opponent who can match their physicality and their defensive pressure. Really fun matchup here today. Duncan Robinson is an absolutely integral part to this team. He's one of the few, actually, he might be the only knockdown shooter they have. Thinking about it, yeah, he's the only knockdown shooter they have. 40% from three-point range this year, but it's off the movement, it's off of catch. It's a little bit off the dribble, not a ton off the dribble, but he is a threat from anywhere as long as he's within range, which is like 30 feet and in. He has that kind of range to him. He's got a pretty quick release. He's not as, usually you see shooters and they're like 6'5", 6'6", where at the tallest, he's a solid 6'7", and in shoes, kind of gets to 6'8". He's got a long wingspan. He's got a high release point. He's pretty quick as well. He's worked on quickening his release point and his shooting form as the season's gone on. He's super integral to this team. Started off slow, but has built up the chemistry with the team to find his spots on the court that he finds out that he can get open. And Cade Cunningham, one of the best point guards in the NBA, consistently finds him in these spots all the time. Albert, what's up, Albert? Rav Torres said the Knicks and the Thunder was a good game. We was close to beat them. They were close to beating them. They were close. All things considered, second night of a back-to-back, you traveled more. It's been a tough stretch. You fly back home to play them. You're down two of your best defensive guys, and you lose by 3. 100 to 103. You held them to 103 points. So, on a night where Chet Holmgren scored 14 first-quarter points and 22 first-half points. Nick Yak said, now isn't the time to change the starting five. It's more about who gets the minutes being played, especially in the fourth quarter. Absolutely, Yak, absolutely. I don't, the conversations about who should start, who should not start, to me, a little bit silly. The thing I'm harping on and will continue to harp on is if you see that a matchup's not going well, I need Mike Brown to adjust quicker than he has these past couple of games. I thought he adjusted pretty well in that Thunder game. Part of it might have been because Josh Hart ended up getting hurt in that game. He is now questionable for tomorrow's game against Denver with a back contusion. Remember, we mentioned it. He took that hard fall. He got up slowly. He's kind of laboring the rest of the game, holding that back. So he's going to be questionable going into tomorrow's game. But, there are scenarios. We've talked about it. We've ranted about it where Josh Hart is killing the team with his lack of shooting. So maybe make the adjustment and just like, okay, well, let's pull Josh Hart out now. We'll get Shamet in there, or any shooter, Mo Diawara, at this point with the way he's shooting. Get another guy in there who will take and knock down that 3. And then we'll get Josh Hart in there in a different lineup configuration where we take advantage of his strength at that point, right? But changing the starting five, changing, all these things and experimenting some more when we only have 20 games remaining is not a good idea in my book. Nikki, what's up, Nikki? I hope he isn't playing tomorrow. Give that guy a rest. Give that guy a rest. I love Josh Hart. Nikki said Josh Hart got to go. I don't think he has to go anywhere. Josh Hart is incredibly integral to what this team does. He was incredibly dynamic in the fourth quarter when they needed to go small ball, and they did, and he really helped rally the team and helped put us in the position that we were in to possibly tie that game up to go into overtime. Let's not just because he doesn't take threes when we want him to take threes does not discount all the other fantastic things he does for the team. He is integral to this team competing moving forward. But just maybe not 35 minutes a night, maybe 25 minutes a night, maybe 28 minutes a night. Maybe chip away at some of those minutes a little bit to lean in more to what this team does better. Benzino said Hart turns 31 tomorrow. They might give him the night off then for his birthday and to heal up. He is hurt, though. He did fall. He's questionable with a back contusion, and he did have that hard fall. Ozahar, what's up, Ozahar? Just as Dad said, OG hits the 3. I feel like that would have been his moment. OG had a stellar dunk earlier, poster, and then forced overtime would be OG's Knicks moment. I mean, he's had some Knicks moments. He dunked on Joel Embiid in his first season with the Knicks. He had an incredible game 1 against the Pacers that year before going out with a hamstring injury in the fourth quarter. Knicks probably win that series with OG and Anunoby, but that is besides the point. So let's lower the volume here. There we go. We are like 6 minutes away from tip-off, so let's go ahead. Let's run through the rest of the Pistons. I think Caris LeVert's the last guy we want to talk about here. He is a wild card of a player. Kanahar, what's up, Kanahar? A lot of Pistons fans are kind of done with the Caris LeVert experiment here. They want more Dennis Jenkins. They want even more, Marcus Sasser in for Caris LeVert. He can be valuable, but he could also kind of sink your team a little bit. As a Knicks fan, I absolutely love that JB Bickerstaff refuses to take this man out of the rotation and it refuses He had a weird outing earlier this season where Caris LeVert ended up playing 23 minutes in comparison to Thompson, who played 19. It was really bizarre. And honestly, it could end up being the downfall of JB Bickerstaff here in Detroit. I don't know what the scenario was. I don't know if he was hurt. I don't know if it was... And I looked into it afterwards. He was not hurt. It was just something that JB Bickerstaff didn't like that Ausar Thompson was doing, and so he went with Caris LeVert for a majority of the second half in that game. Ultimately ended up costing them the game, I think. Because I think they lost it. It didn't cost them the game, but they ended up losing, and Thompson would absolutely help them win the basketball game, but it is what it is. Nick Yak said, hard shooting, 50%, 40% from three, 7.5 rebounds, 5 assists. Why so much hate? Because he's shooting 40% from threes on very low volume. He's now in a shooting slump and is refusing to shoot threes and is shrinking the floor and is minimizing the offensive impact that the team can have as one of the best, most dynamic offenses in the NBA. Also, him being ghost coverage, being ghost covered. Ghost coverage means that the team usually puts their center on Josh Hart and refuse to guard him, daring him to shoot threes, which he has lost confidence in and is now refusing to shoot the open three. What that does is that it changes the way the Knicks have to run their offense. So part of the reason why Karl-Anthony Towns isn't getting as many shot attempts is because the Knicks now have to involve Josh Hart into every action to involve the defender who is not being involved in the play if we just have Josh Hart go maybe stand in the corner or on the wing or in the dunker spot, because now the center can pack the paint. So now you have to bring Josh Hart up top to run pick and roll with Jalen Brunson instead of having the ability to run pick and roll with Karl-Anthony Towns. So if you had Landry Shamet in the Josh Hart role, where Landry Shamet is a knockdown three-point shooter, defenses can't guard you that way. Therefore, the Knicks can get back to involving their all-star, one of the best offensive bigs in the NBA, into the offense a little bit more often rather than having to rely on Josh Hart, who is an inconsistent and now hesitant three-point shooter. That's why there's hate going around for Josh Hart. But I love Josh Hart, and as much as I will rant about Josh Hart, guy is super integral to the team. The 40% from three, to me, means nothing if you're only shooting like 2 or 3 a game, because that is not impactful enough shooting, so much so that he's a 40% three-point shooter this year, and teams are still like, go ahead, Josh Hart, shoot the wide-open three-point shot, and Josh Hart has lost confidence in the three-point shot so much so that he's like, yeah, let me drive it in instead and eat up the space rather than just shoot the open three. So it's just hurting the team to have Josh out there to start games right now, especially against the best teams in the NBA who guard him that way. Gumby, what's up, Gumby? Sasser is all around better than LeVert? I tend to agree, Gumby. I tend to agree. But JB Bickerstaff, the guy who's in charge of making that decision, doesn't seem to agree. Marley said, hopefully Cade plays good. I want to see a good game. I'm with you, Marley. I'm with you. Yak said, I understand, but Shamet is against 7.5 rebounds and hardly an assist. But he is a better point of attack defender than Josh Hart. It's a value proposition. There are things Josh Hart does that are super valuable to the team, and there are things that he takes off the table for the team. There are things that Shamet does that are supremely impactful for the team, but there are also things he takes off for the team, right? So it's about maximizing the situations. There are people who think like, okay, we'll start Landry Shamet, and then 3 minutes into the game, he put Josh Hart in so he can come in, change the energy of the game. Now that the starters are starting to slow down, Josh Hart can come in and pick them back up. There's just a lot of talk about that. It's not about who averages more and what they're doing with the minutes that they have. It's more so about what does the team look like with the roster configuration or the lineup configurations that you have out there. Right? So people, if you're going to look to maximize the offense to start the game, start with a 5-out lineup. And then we can transition more into our defensive guys where you bring in Shamet, or you bring in Josh Hart, you bring in Mitchell Robinson, you bring in other guys like Deuce McBride eventually when he comes back. So it's, like that. Kinar said Shamet isn't a starting caliber player either. It's not necessarily even being about a starting caliber player. When you're surrounded by 4 guys who are potentially all-star level players, all you need Landry Shamet to do is stand in the corner and space the floor. That's all you really need. And guard the point of attack. Let everybody else do the work. But it's not even about who starts to me. I don't care about the start, who starts, who comes off the bench conversations, because to me, we're too stringent with the rotations. That's it. We're too stringent with the rotations. Like, don't be mechanical with your rotations. Be flexible with them. Yeah, said, I agree, Mitch. When Mitch is underneath, Hart has to let it fly. When anybody's Hart has to let it fly when he's open. And teams are purposely leaving him open, and he's not shooting it. Keenar said Josh Hart is not Draymond Green. Well, he's got a play style that has to be like Draymond Green because of the way teams are guarding him. They're guarding him the way Draymond Green used to be guarded, except he's not as big as Draymond, and Draymond was an undersized center. He's not as big as Draymond, and he's not as good of a passer as Draymond was. And he doesn't have the level of off-ball mover that Draymond had and Steph Curry to take advantage of it. So there's that. There's that. Ahmed said, do you think Wemby is going to be the face of the NBA? I don't know, man. I think face of the NBA conversations are silly. We know Wemby, we know Fox, we know what they're capable of. I mean, honestly, we're getting ready for tip-off, so let's go ahead and get to it. Fox and Castle coming off pretty miserable games against the Knicks. They had bounce-back game against Philly. So let's go ahead. I don't even have the score set up here. My bad. Slacking on that. There we go. And there we go. Spurs win the tip. Wemby gets it over to Castle. Castle up top. Gets it over to Vassell. Vassell coming to his right, hands it off to Fox. Fox driving down to his left against Cunningham. Stops, turns, spins, kicks it out. Wembanyama, right corner, pump fake. Duren goes for it. Wemby down the lane, gets the ball knocked out of the air or knocked out of his hands by Ausar Thompson. What a defensive play. I'm going to pull up the players on the court for you guys right now. Here we go. Steph Castle gets it up top to Wemby. He's going to fire the deep three. Had to, and he got it to go. Had to get it off with the shot clock winding down. He only had an opportunity to catch and shoot it there, and he got it to go. Cade Cunningham has it up top, hands it off to Robinson, gets it over to Harris. Harris on the right wing, being guarded by Champagnie. They get it over to Thompson. Thompson on the right wing. Gets it over to Robinson, curling off a screen. He's got space on the right wing. He can't get the three to go. Champagnie with the rebound. Here comes Castle. Castle on the right wing, crosses over, has it up top, keeps his handle. He's being guarded by Thompson. Driving to his left, hands it off to Fox. Fox picked up by Harris on a switch. Fox is going to dance with it, settles for the pull-up three. Got it to go for De'Aaron Fox. And that's two quick threes for the San Antonio Spurs. They call it a long two. Interesting. Toe on the line, 5-0 instead. Cade Cunningham up top being chased by Castle. Driving to his right, pocket pass to Duren, rolling to the rim against Wemby. Lays it up with the left hand as he hits the floor. And now here come the Spurs quickly pushing the other way. Duren's got to get up and go. Castle in lane, stops, hands it off to Champagnie. Champagnie gets it to Wemby in the post, being guarded by Harris in the lane. Fall-away jumper over him, got it to go. Nothing Tobias Harris can do about that. It's now 7-2. 10:15 to go. Harris has it up top. They get it over to Duren. Duren being guarded by Wemby. Hands it off to Robinson, curling around off the handoff, gets it back to Duren, fall-away jumper over Wemby, hits off the front of the rim, can't get the friendly bounces, it rolls off the side. Vassell with the rebound, bringing it down the other way. Vassell coming to his left, swings it out to Champagnie, left corner three for Julian Champagnie, too strong, can't get it to go, bouncing on the rim a couple of times. Duren ends up with it with the awkward bounce rebound. Here comes Thompson, shot out of a cannon, Euro stepping down the lane, and Thompson comes up limping. Gonna possibly turn his ankle there. And Thompson goes down in a heap, out of bounds. See you roll it? He rolled it. You rolled it. You rolled that thing. You rolled it planting on the floor, and it turned over on him, and he's in agony. He's in absolute agony. It didn't turn over all the way, but that little tweak right there, they got him. That got him. He's down on the floor. Need help. He needs help up. Just as that's an NBA season should be 10 games shorter. Play each team twice. I've seen that floated around. I get it. It makes sense. I love basketball. So just give me more basketball. Give me more basketball. I think 82 games is fine as long as we space out the season. Like, why not push the NBA Finals to be played early July? Why not do that? And then completely eliminate back. Or we don't even have to push it back. How about we start the NBA season slightly earlier? How about we start it middle of October and we don't space out? The Knicks played their first preseason game October 2nd, and then they played their first NBA game October 22nd. There were 20 days, almost 3 weeks since the start of preseason to the start of the regular season. How about we shrink that to just a week and a half of preseason games? Teams are already scrimmaging. And then we jump right in. We give them 3 days off, and then we jump right into the regular season. Let's do it. Tip it off. Here we go. Foong Pei said, yeah, just year-round ball. I'm with you. Obviously, they're going to take time off in summer, but we don't have to push. Guys are already back in training camp by September, and they're looking to play basketball at the 3rd to 4th week of October is when the NBA season tips off. Just move the tip-off season earlier. Move the tip-off earlier. Instead of the 22nd, have it be the 12th. Take 10 days off. Shave 10 days off of it. Eliminate the back-to-backs. That should be enough. Benzino said that's brilliant, a shorter preseason. The Knicks played a preseason game like every 3 to 4 days. It was ridiculous, the preseason schedule for the Knicks. And the Knicks were a little bit different because they had to go play the Abu Dhabi games, so their games were more spread out than other teams. But start preseason games the October 1st. And then all preseason games are done by October 10th. And then the NBA season starts October 13th. Done. I solved it. I figured it out. Knar said 82 was good enough for years. Please, how about we just make fewer playoff teams so the season matters more? I don't even think that's an issue. I think it matters a perfect amount. There's been tanking every season of the history of every single sport, football included, basketball included, baseball included. If you were down at the bottom, you were like, well, it's smarter to lose. Like, that wasn't invented, 5 years ago. That wasn't invented 20 years ago. That's been there since the dawn of competition. It was more beneficial to lose games once you were down at the bottom to secure a higher lottery pick. It is what it is. What you're worried about is keeping the competition high throughout the season, and eliminating back-to-backs is the best way to do so. As De'Aaron Fox knocks down a left wing three off the assist from Castle, as we're back into it. Cade Cunningham bringing it down from the pressure from Castle. They get over to Harris. Harris up top, being guarded by Champagnie. They get it up top to Duren. Duren gets it out to Robinson. Robinson being guarded by Fox. They get it over to Cunningham, loses the handle on the ball, knocks it back out to Robinson. They're doing a great job of keeping it out of Cade Cunningham's hands. Duncan Robinson fires the 30-footer straight away, and he knocks it down for the second made basket for the Pistons there. It's now 10-5. Bullet pass inside to Fox, who lays it up and in. What a pass from Fox. What a pass from Castle, and what a cut and finish from Fox. Now 5-12 here, 9 minutes to go into this first quarter. Cunningham coming to his left off the Duren screen, snaking it back to his right hand. Foul line pull-up jumper, can't get it to go off the back rim. Holland the rebound. Pull-up three for Cunningham straight away in the relocation. Holland the offensive rebound and putback. And Holland coming in and changing the game. Ausar Thompson, by the way, guys, goes back to the locker room. Here comes Fox pushing the other way, putting his head down to the rim, pump fake, kicks it out. A three from Vassell, right corner. He got it to go. And the Spurs absolutely lighting it up from three-point range to start. Very similar to how they started the game previously against the Pistons the last time they matched up in Detroit. Duren hands it off to Cunningham. Mid-range pull-up jumper again. This time he rattles it in. Here comes Fox bringing it down. He has it on the right wing. Up top to Vassell. A deep straightaway three this time. He can't get that one to go. Battle for the rebound. Duren has it. Dribbling it out, gets it out to Harris, pushing the pace. Euro steps down the lane. Layup gets blocked by Castle, but a foul is called. And Harris is going to go to the foul line for 2 with 8 minutes to go. Oda Austin, what's up, Oda? Knar said, we read that. 82 is good enough for years. I tend to agree. Just that's a Detroit major setback with the Thompson injury. I mean, it looked like a sprained ankle, and it didn't look like it was bad. So I think he'll be all right. Gives a guy like Ron Holland the ability to step in, make a name for himself, do something, catch a rhythm here, play with the starters a little bit more. Is the guy I expect to be in the starting lineup from moving forward, because Thompson will probably miss a week or two with sprained ankle. He went down. He looked in a lot of pain. Harris steps to the foul line and knocks down both. 8 minutes to go. Castle bringing it down. He has it up top. Castle coming to his left off the Champagnie screen. Driving it down against Robinson. Goes around the Wemby screen. Mid-range pull-up jumper. Can't get it to go. Players falling over each other, but Duren ends up with the rebound. Here comes Cade Cunningham. Bringing it down against Castle. Crosses over down the lane. Blows past Wemby to the rim. Gets blocked by Wemby. Loose ball rebound by Duren. He can't knock down the little flip layup. Just smokes it. And then the rebound to the Spurs. Here comes Fox. Fox on the right wing. Fox crosses over on Holland. In the mid-range, pump fakes. Great defense from Holland. Then he knocks it out of bounds. Zahar, appreciate you, brother. Reminding people to like button. If you guys are enjoying the show so far, please go ahead, hit that thumbs up button. I'd very much appreciate it. And they get it into Devin Vassell, but Duncan Robinson knocks the ball out of his hands, and it's off of Devin Vassell. So now the ball back to the Pistons. Here comes Cade Cunningham and the Pistons. It's a 4-point game. Cunningham has it up top on the left wing, being guarded by Castle. He's directing traffic. Get it over to Harris, being guarded by Champagnie. Harris sees a double team, out of bounds, and it's going to stay with the Pistons. They say out of bounds off of Wemby. Cunningham gets it quickly into Robinson, moving quickly off the inbound, misses the pull-up three off the pump fake relocation. Wemby with the rebound, quick outlet to Vassell. Vassell shovels it back to Wemby. Pump fakes against Duren, driving to his left, blows past him, down the lane, puts up the jumper, can't get it to go, and that is because he is fouled. And he's going to the foul line for 2 with 7 minutes to go now. A very physical game to start. Both teams finding themselves at the foul line continuously here. Wemby with 2 free throws. Oh, 7 minutes to go. There we go. We're good. 7:02 exactly. Wemby knocks down the first free throw. He's got another one coming. Dylan Harper, rookie Dylan Harper coming in for Fox here. Manuel, what's up, Manuel? Great job there in the play-by-play. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Really, every time you do the Pistons, I watch you. Again, thanks for the play-by-play. Appreciate you, Manuel. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for hanging out with us. Wemby knocks down both free throws. It's 17-11. Cunningham bringing it down, being guarded by Castle. Cunningham up top. Coming to his left. Hands it off to fakes the handoff to Robinson. Now gets it over to Duren. Duren keeps it. He's going to look to attack Wemby in space. Down the lane to his right. High off glass, can't get it to go. Holland sneaking his way down low. Snags the rebound over Vassell, puts it back up. And Wemby snatches it out of the air, and they call the goaltend. Wemby just hands it over to the official and trots his way down the court. See the replay on that? That is indeed an absolute goaltend on Wemby. Just snatches it out of the air like it's NBA Street Volume 2. If you know, you know. You're looking like Stretch out there. Castle down the lane, blowing past the defense, gets the scoop lay with the right hand. Gets knocked to the ground, no foul call. It's 13-19, by the way. Forgot to give them that goaltend bucket. Harris has it in the left corner, being guarded by Wemby. On a switch, trying to get it to Duren. They lob it over the top. Duren catches under the rim, goes up, gets the layup to go for Duren. If you're Wemby, you have to completely sell out and go down once they lob it down low to Duren if you're not on him. Harper down the lane. Great job by Duren to go quickly. They get it up top to Wemby. Pump fakes. Duren goes for it. Wemby draws the foul on Duren. That's 2 fouls on Jaylen Duren. And that's an issue. Duren coming out. Maybe not too much of an issue because it'll bring in Isaiah Stewart here. Isaiah Stewart missed the previous game against the Spurs, serving that 7-game suspension for the fight. He is now back. He's available for the game tonight. So here comes Stewart. Duren does come out with the 2 fouls now. Stewart is an excellent defender, but he obviously is at a huge size disadvantage here. Is a little bit of an undersized center to begin with, and now obviously going up with the tallest player in the league. Wemby has it in the post. Fall-away jumper over him. Well contested from Stewart, and it does not matter. Wemby knocks down the fall-away jumper. Anyway, here come the Pistons. Coming to his left. Pull-up 3 for Cade Cunningham. Gets swatted out of there by Castle on the chase down block on the pull-up 3 from Cunningham. And Castle's hyped up about it. He takes it, for whatever reason, he's taking this Cade Cunningham matchup extremely personal. He had an excellent, and he's an excellent defensive player. He had an excellent defensive game against Cade Cunningham the first time they matched up, and so far here tonight, Cade really struggling to get his offense up. They kick it out. Stewart launches a 3. He can't get it to go. Fight for the loose ball rebound. Harper ends up with it, steals it from his teammate. Over to Vassell, the pull-up 3 in transition. He can't get it to go. Harper's skying for the rebound. He can't grab it, but it finds its way out to Vassell. They swing it out to Harper. Harper will fire to the right corner 3, and he'll knock it down. Harper, not a very good or consistent three-point shooter, but he knocks that one down with confidence. And again, they call it a long 2. 2 times already. Cunningham down the lane against Wemby. Gets blocked, fight for the loose ball, and a foul is called somewhere. Is that on Cade? On Cade's layup attempt, or is that on Stewart fighting for the rebound? Either way, I think the Pistons will go to the foul line here. It's a great attack from Cade. Whether he gets fouled here or not. I think that's clean. I think that's clean. No, they call the foul on Wemby. So Cade's at the foul line for 2. Oh, no, yeah. How is he at the foul line? Did he get fouled on the shot attempt? Like get pushed out of the air as Cade was shooting the... So Isaiah Stewart's at the foul line for 2. Cade Cunningham was the guy who shot the layup attempt against Wemby. I thought it was clean defense from Wemby. They didn't call the foul on Wemby, it appears. They called the foul, I believe, on Dylan Harper, who came over to contest. Rookie Carter Bryant is coming into the game here for Castle. Carter Bryant, a very good defender, but obviously a rookie. James Houlihan, what's up, James? Let's go Spurs, beat the Pistons. Here we go. Should be a good one. Stewart knocks down both free throws. Still confused as to why he got free throws there. The Pistons are not in the bonus. At least they're not indicating them in the bonus. It's been 2 fouls on both teams so far. So I'm still a little confused as to why he got free throws. Harper turns it over. Robinson bringing it down, throws the lob up top to Holland. He can't get the lob attempt dunk to go down, but that's because he gets fouled by rookie Dylan Harper. Harper, very gutsy to go up there and challenge Ron Holland in the air in the lob attempt. Holland couldn't get the highlight dunk to go down, but he does draw the foul going to the foul line for 2 here. And they do change it to a 3 now. So it's 20. That previous Harper 3, I assume they changed to a 3 that they initially logged as a long 2. It's 24-17, a 7-point lead for the Spurs, but Holland's at the foul line for 2. He's a very good free throw. Not a very good. He's a good free throw shooter. Usually knocks them down at a high rate. Ausar said the game of the day. I hope. Fox back into the game. Ron Holland knocks down both free throws. And Dylan Harper will bring it down. Some full court pressure here from LeVert. Under 5 to go. They get over to Fox. Fox up top to Johnson. Johnson driving it down against Cunningham. They kick it out to Wemby. Wemby will launch the 3 over Stewart, and he got it to go. How do you guard that? Stewart is right there with the hand up, ready to contest. And he contests it well, and it doesn't matter. Randy, what's up, Randy? Got a question, Randy? What's the question, Randy? Let me know. I may not have the answer, but I'll do my best. Ron Holland dribbles it off his own foot, but LeVert able to pick it up. LeVert bringing it down to his right, off the Stewart screen, down the lane, ball knocked out of his hands, picks it up, kicks it out. Holland, right corner 3, well contested, can't get it to go. Fox comes flying in for the rebound. Quick outlet to Wemby. The point guard with the rebound outlets it to the center. They get it back to Fox. Fox has it up top. Attacking Robinson off the bounce. Rhythm dribble, pull up 3. Got it to go for De'Aaron Fox. He's ready to cook tonight. He is ready to cook, and a timeout from the Pistons. I want to talk a couple of things over 4:19 to go. Randy said, have you seen Cohen Carr play? I've only seen the highlights. I haven't seen a full game from Cohen Carr. I've only seen the highlights. If you're going to ask me about Knicks draft picks, Randy, we got to wait to see where the draft boards end up in the offseason because they change pretty dramatically as the college season goes on, especially around tournament time here in March. I've only seen a little bit of Cohen Carr. Why? Do you like him, Randy? I've only seen the highlights. Is he your guy? Is that your draft guy this year, Randy? We all got draft guys. Yeah, I haven't dove in too deep into college basketball because we've been so wrapped up in our NBA coverage this season. You know, streaming as many games as possible. Randy said you already answered me. Love him, especially on the Knicks. It's been difficult for me to get to college basketball this season, despite how deep the college season has been, how deep these teams have been, how good this freshman class is, and how good the NBA draft class is going to be. So I try to keep up by watching some of the highlights, but obviously that's not enough to make an informed opinion on. So I've only seen the highlights. I mean, he looks good in the highlights. Everybody looks good in their highlights. But I'll have a more informed opinion when March Madness starts and we could dive into it a little bit more. Sons Jen, what's up, Sons Jen? Hope you're well today too, brother. Hope you're well today too. It's 30-19. It's an 11-point lead for the Spurs early. They are knocking down their threes at a very high rate so far. Fox is 4 for 4 and Wemby's 4 for 5. It's not a great sign for the Pistons, although you could also argue that and Cade's 1 for 6. So not a good sign that Cade's 1 for 6 and the Spurs duo are 4 for 9, are 8 for 9 combined. So not a good sign for the Pistons. But you could also argue it's only an 11-point game, despite Cade playing pretty terribly so far, and Wemby and Fox going off the way that they are. You can make that argument as well. We'll have to see how it plays out. Nick Yak said Detroit is going to go through their rough part of the schedule. Will be a little bit different going forward. Trae Young playing his first game with the Wizards, doing pretty good so far. That is true. I forgot. Completely forgot. We gotta go around the league. We're coming back from the timeout. We got a couple of seconds here. Real quick. Where are we at? Jazz. Oh, come on. Trae, you can't help your team beat the Jazz tonight? You're down by 12. Pick your play up, man. Pick your play up. You said he's looking pretty solid so far. It is his first game back. I'll cut him a little bit of slack. Just a little bit, though. He has 10 and 3 with 3 turnovers. Because, of course, he does. The Trae Young special. All right, here we go. Back to our game. Back to our coverage. They swing it out to Dennis Jenkins, who pump fakes. He's being guarded by Carter Bryant. Has him in the post. Stop. Baseline. Fall-away jumper. Well contested. Can't get it to go. Good move from Dennis Jenkins. Just can't get it to fall down. Here comes Dylan Harper bringing it down. He has it up top. Coming to his left off the Wemby screen. Down the lane. Under the rim. Loses the handle on the ball. Good pressure from Isaiah Stewart there. Forced the rookie to mishandle the ball. And we're under 4 to go. Here comes Jenkins. Jenkins has it up top being guarded by Fox. Jenkins dancing around a Ron Holland screen. Keldon Johnson now switched onto him. Jenkins coming to his right. Carter Bryant switched onto him to get it over to Cade Cunningham. Down the lane, they swing it out. Extra pass. Dennis Jenkins, wide open right wing 3. Comes up short. Wembanyama with the rebound. Quick outlet to Fox. Fox bringing it down. Fox being guarded by Holland. Holland a good defender. Fox crosses over anyway. Stops. Drop step spin. And gets the foul on Ron Holland. Ron Holland just slaps down and fouls him. Decides to just send him to the foul line. Fox able to get to his spot. Good foul from Holland at least. To save an easy basket. Right? He was out of position there. Obviously, it's bad defense by allowing Fox to get down to that position, but Fox is an excellent basketball player as he misses the free throw, so it ends up being a great foul. Great foul from Ron Holland. Young LA, appreciate you, Young LA. Forgot to shout you out too. Randy said, dude is a combo between Vince Carter and OG on steroids. We're going to have to see how his game develops, but there's a lot of excitement from a lot of guys in this draft. And there's going to be guys who drop down to the 20s and maybe even the second round that in other drafts would be lottery picks in this super deep draft. And it's going to be really fun to watch this upcoming draft, man. Draft is my favorite time of the year. Anybody arguing to eliminate the NBA draft is the silliest, dumbest thing in the world. Cade Cunningham, a step back mid-range jumper off the back of the rim, bouncing on the top of the backboard, can't get it to go. Wemby secures the rebound and saves it over to Harper. Fox did knock down the second free throw at least to get it over to Wemby as the trailer. Ball knocked out of his hands. Harper able to pick it up. Harper bringing it down. Shot clock down to 12 to get it out to Wemby. Wemby will fire a 40-footer, and he's going to come up short. Here comes Ron Holland, shot out of a cannon, shovels it over to LeVert. LeVert, the wild reverse layup against Wemby, can't get it to go. Put back attempt by Holland, can't get it to go. Loose ball, knocked out of bounds by the Pistons. Ball going back to the Spurs. Wembanyama not allowing anything to go down uncontested at the rim here tonight. Pistons are going to, the Pistons don't have reliable three-point shooters outside of Duncan Robinson. So obviously majority of their guys are guys who who attack the basket, who get into the paint, who finish through contact, and it's not necessarily something you can do with Wembanyama on the court. But now he subs out. Luke Cornett subs in. He's a pretty good rim protector, but not nearly as good. So the Pistons are going to look to take advantage of this lineup now. They're only down by 12. Really fast start for the Spurs, but only a 12-point lead to start the game. LeVert steps through, and a foul on Carter Bryant as LeVert got tripped up there. Nick Yak said Spurs just had player, rookie, and coach of the month. Ridiculous. Thomas Roro, what's up, Thomas? Jenkins sucks. JB is the problem. He keeps putting non-shooters out. I've heard LeVert is brutal. I've heard Detroit fans not too happy with some of the decisions JB Bickerstaff has made this season with the rotation. Jenkins down the lane, scoop blade with the right hand, can't get it to go. Battle on the glass for the rebound. Stewart wins it out, hands it off to Sasser, who's in the game, to kick it out. LeVert drives the lane, leaves it off for Stewart. Stewart gets the layup. Great drive and dish for LeVert. There you go. Maybe off of the three-point pressure that Sasser was applying as he stepped behind the three-point line. But Dylan Harper driving down on LeVert there, gets blocked. Quick outlet to Dennis Jenkins. Jenkins is going to bring it down and try to throw it down over Carter Bryant. What an absolutely awful decision by Dennis Jenkins there. Here comes Fox, who's going to walk into the wide open three. Can't get it to go off the back rim. Long rebound goes back out to Fox. He spins off of Jenkins. He has it in the lane. They kick it out to Harper. Extra pass to Bryant. Bryant kicks it in the corner back to Fox. Wide open three in the spot up. Can't get it to go. Battle on the glass for the rebound. Carter Bryant chases it down. Up top to Cornette. Springs it out to Johnson. Down the lane. Flips it up. Can't get it to go. Battle on the glass. And Cornette tips it up and in. And now the Spurs just dominating the boards on that possession. It's 33-21. Still maintaining that 12-point lead. 1:20 to go here in this first quarter. Jenkins dancing with it up top. They get it over to Harris. Harris being guarded by Johnson. Coming to his right after Stewart screen. Crossing over to his left. Driving it down. Step back. Mid-range. Fall-away jumper. Comes up short. Can't get it to go. Carter Bryant the rebound. Bryant doing a great job of being a hustle energy guy out there. Harper has it up top. Crossing over to his left. Hands it off to Fox. Fox on the left wing. Jab step. Coming to his right. Driving it down. Fall-away jumper in the paint. Got it to go for De'Aaron Fox. And then the lead is now up to 14. Here come the Pistons, who are struggling offensively. Obviously, we know the Spurs are a fantastic defensive team. And the Pistons get it over to Stewart. He's going to drive it down against Cornette. Flips it up with the left hand. Isolation for Isaiah Stewart out by the three-point line. Maybe not the greatest offense to run for the Pistons on that play there. As we wind down this first quarter. Fox, step back three. Oh, he's feeling it. Oh, he is feeling it as he knocks down the step back straightaway three. The lead is ballooned up to 17 now. And a timeout for the Pistons with 30 seconds to go. No timeout. Excuse me. It was just a delayed inbound. Pistons bringing it down. I thought we were walking back to our bench. Fox was walking down to pick up Dennis Jenkins full court. It is about a 7-second difference between game clock and shot clock. Jenkins has it up top. Coming to his right at the Stewart screen. Shovels it out. Sasser. Pump fakes. Fox chasing him off the line. He's driving to his left. Spins to his right. Has it at the foul line. Pump fake. Steps through. Flips it up off glass. Wild shot attempt. Stewart tried to get the putback, but got fouled by Carter Bryant. 8.8 to go. And that is 2 free throws for the Detroit Pistons. Benzino says, sounds like Carter Bryant's minutes, he's getting minutes with Harrison Barnes out. Was Harrison Barnes out? That's true. We have not seen Harrison Barnes. I won't lie. I might like Carter Bryant a little bit more than Harrison Barnes. In some matchups. In some instances. Not every instance. I always do this, and I forgot to do this tonight, but to look up who was out. I was really just locked in Isaiah Stewart getting to play today. But I can check the Spurs. Barnes is out with what? An ankle injury. He's the only rotation player out. Isaiah Stewart goes 2 for 2 from the foul line. 38-23. Fox bringing it down, blowing past the defense in the lane, low fall-away jumper, too strong, can't get it to go, and that'll be 38 first quarter points for the San Antonio Spurs. Now, if you're the Pistons and you want a bright side here, that's probably the best offensive quarter the Spurs are going to have tonight. And you're only trailing by 15, which is, a big lead, but not a super large lead, especially in 2026 basketball. The issue, really, other than giving up 38 points for the Pistons, who are one of the better defensive teams in the league, really the biggest issue is that you only scored 23. The offense really, really struggled out there with Cade Cunningham getting off to a really slow start so far today. Looking to be a second straight bad matchup against the Spurs here. This is a little bit of a preview of what maybe the playoffs will look like for Cade this year. Now, he performed very well in the playoffs last year, so I'm really not too concerned about him figuring it out come playoff time. But, with Steph Castle and Victor Wembanyama out there, it's really difficult for Cade Cunningham, who's an inconsistent perimeter shooter, so he doesn't have a lot to rely on, to find space and get shots up. Having to settle for a lot of pull-up mid-range shots, or just dive bomb his way into the basket and hope to draw a foul. So the Pistons are going to they have one of two options here. Cade can get hot and start getting, I guess they got 3 options really. Cade can get hot and get rolling, or Jaylen Duren can take off, or some of their non-3-point shooters can start knocking down some 3-point shots. Like LeVert, like Javonte Green, who just checked in, like Ron Holland, guys like that. Without that, hopefully more than one of those two things also takes place here tonight for the Pistons to get back into this one. But without that, it is going to be a tough night for the Pistons to overcome this then, right? If the Spurs are knocking down their threes and they're playing high-level defense, good luck to anybody playing against them. Nick Yak said 38 points on the Pistons defense was a terrific job. Yep. I mean, it just shows you what knocking down three-point shots can do for you. Wemby knocked down, three threes, I think? I think he knocked down 3 threes in that first quarter. Fox knocked down 2 or 3 threes. Vassell hit a 3. Harper hit a 3. Like, it's crazy what happens when the three-point shots go down. You can put up 40 points in a quarter. Which, by the way, we didn't get to shout it out. The Knicks scored 40 points against the Thunder last night, I believe, in the third quarter. We can look at it real quick right now. I believe, because we could see it right here. Yeah, in the third quarter, we didn't even notice it in the moment. This was when Mikal Bridges hit the 3 to put the Knicks up by 3 to go into the fourth quarter. They scored 40 points in that quarter. They scored 40. So, we've been calling for a 40-point quarter from the New York Knicks for the longest time. And then when they actually did it, we didn't even properly celebrate it. But here we go. Start of the second quarter for our coverage here tonight. And Cade Cunningham back in to start the second, and he's going to bring it down against Dylan Harper. Harper applying some full court pressure to Cunningham. They get it over to Stewart. Stewart has it up top. Hands it off to Cunningham, who's wide open straight away from 3, and he got it to go. Bad defense. I don't know how they lost Cade Cunningham like that. But clearly somebody thought they were switching, and they were not switching. And an immediate timeout from the Spurs. Great timeout from the Spurs head coach, if I'm being honest. Great timeout. You don't lose track of the best player on the opposite team when you were previously holding him on 1 for 7 from the field. You let him walk into a wide open straightaway 3 with nobody even around him to start the second quarter? It wasn't even, it was a little bit of a set play from the Pistons, but I think it was also a little bit of just a freelance of Cade Cunningham recognizing, oh, there's miscommunication there. I'm going to pop back out for 3 real quick straight away, and he knocks it down. So suddenly, what felt like a nice, solid lead going into the second quarter here for the Spurs is knocked down to just a 12-point lead. Not a very big lead at all. Nick Yak said, it looks like the Pistons surely miss Thompson. He is a huge part of what they do. There's a reason why I have him third in the player graphics order here. If you haven't noticed, I put my player graphics in order of how important I think the player is to the team and where I think the pecking order is. And I have Ausar Thompson third for the Pistons, behind the 2 obvious All-Stars, right, between Cade and Duren. Daniel Dash, what's up, Daniel Dash? Rainey said, who's got better defense, the Pistons or the Knicks? The Pistons by a mile, brother. Pistons by a mile. Nick Yak said, looks like the Pistons surely missed Thompson. They did. I read that one already. My apologies. Danny Dash said, yeah, they scored 40 in the first half, too. Even more remarkable is equal first half, total in the third. Yep, the one that they seem to be gassed early in the fourth. A little bit. It was also some awkward rotation decisions. Some awkward rotation decisions for Mike Brown in the sense that he started his starting 5 lineup to start the fourth quarter, which usually is not something you see teams do very often at all. Benzino said, might Thompson come back tonight? The broadcast hasn't given us any new information or indication on what's going on with Ausar Thompson, so I can look it up on the internet. See if any of the beat reporters have tweeted out any updates about him. Daniel Dash said Shea should have had 3 fouls in the first quarter. He should have. Daniel Dash did 15 to 12, and then to 9 with a stop and another 3. 3-point shot is the ultimate equalizer in the NBA. If we go to the Pistons and just literally pull up there. It's questionable to return with a right ankle sprain. Questionable to return. Usually that means they will not be returning, but we'll see. We'll know for sure start of the second half to see if he comes out to start the game. Start the second half. Champagny has it up top, picks up his handle. Kicks it out to Castle. Castle coming to his right of the screen. LeVert picks him up. Castle steps back, crossing over to his left, down the lane, throws up the tough floater. Can't get it to go. Castle looking for the foul call. He doesn't get it. Pistons grab it and get out and run. They got the stop. Now they get a score. They get it back to at least 10. Cunningham crossing over to his left on Castle. Spins to his right. Down the lane to the rim. Kicks it in the corner. Javonte Green a three. Can cut it to single digits. In and out. And in again for Javonte Green. As he cuts it back to 9 and the Pistons are right back into it. They get over to Wemby up top. Wemby gets it over to Fox. Fox, jab step, coming to his right, down the lane. Against Cade Cunningham, gets the finger roll layup to go. What a finish from De'Aaron Fox, who's getting it going early here tonight. He is already up to 18 points for De'Aaron Fox. He's looking to have a big performance here tonight. Cunningham bringing it down, gets it over to Green. Green up top, gets it over to Stewart. Stewart hands it off to Cunningham, coming to his left, pull up three for Cade. He's feeling it. Can't get that one to go. A rebound for Carter Bryant. Carter Bryant's been really impressive to me on the glass. Just really relentless attacking rebounds. It's exactly what you got to do if you're a rookie with limited offense. You got to find a way to be impactful. Wemby throws it up towards the rim, looking to draw the foul on Stewart. He doesn't get the call. Terrible decision from Wemby, and then they lob it up to Green, who lays it up and in. Nice lob pass from LeVert from the three-point line as the Spurs do a poor job of getting back on defense and protect the basket. Castle has it up top, crosses over to his right, driving it down in the lane, lobs it up to Wemby for the two-handed slam. Not much you can do about that. Great pick and roll manipulation from the Spurs there. Now it's hovering around 10, though. The Pistons are right back into it. They're one run away from tying this up or making it a single possession game. LeVert crosses over to his left, down the lane. Lefty layup gets blocked at the rim. And then Wemby knocks the ball loose and Carter Bryant picks it up. I don't know if Wemby got it or Carter Bryant got it. Either way, LeVert got pumped at the rim. Wemby hits the pump fake down the lane, flips it up, can't get it to go, and gets his own putback and the foul for Victor Wembanyama as he pounds his chest and he's going to the foul line for one more, trying to push that lead back up for his team as they're now back up by 13, possibly 14, as Wemby will go to the foul line for one more. Daniel Dash said, there's R9 like a true forecaster. Absolutely, absolutely. Appreciate you, Daniel Dash. Hope you have a good night, brother. Hope you have a good night. Yak said the doubtful on the broadcast. Which broadcast are you watching, Yak? Are you watching the Spurs or the Pistons broadcast? Because I have the Spurs broadcast on. Wemby knocks down his and one free throw. I also have it on very low, so I could have just missed it. Wemby up to 17 points. And Fox up to 18 is not a good sign for the Pistons, the fact that they can't stop these two guys here tonight. They get it to Stewart rolling down the rim, can't get the lefty scoop layup to go, but a foul on Victor Wembanyama. And Wemby and the entirety of the Spurs team on the court are signaling to the official that it's an off-arm foul on Stewart there. So everybody on the court was telling or making the signal to the official, like, hey, that's an off-arm foul. Or at least a no call on Wemby. He doesn't come across the body. The only contact made is when Stewart extends his off-arm to fend off the shot blocker in Wemby. The coaching staff from the Spurs obviously saw the players signal that, talked to their coaching staff, the guy who's responsible of looking at the iPad and signaling to the head coach, hey, you should challenge this. And the Spurs decided to challenge it. Wemby was signaling to his own bench, seeing that his coaching staff was about to challenge, saying like, hey, don't challenge that. But they end up using their challenge here. Maybe they'll win it, maybe they won't, we'll see. We talked about how loose the interpretation of the rules can be by officials. They can kind of make it say whatever they want to say with how they make their statements. So we'll see which way they lean here. Do they lean towards the offensive foul? Do they lean towards the defensive foul? Do they signal it as marginal contact? There is some contact there. There is no body contact. There's really only arm contact. So do they decide that is a wave off by Stewart to fend off Wembanyama from trying to block the shot? Does Wemby break the plane by going over and reaching through across the body to look to block the shot? Because Wemby comes from the right side to contest Isaiah Stewart, who's laying it up with his left hand. Here we go. Here's the ruling. Tony Brothers, terrible official, but here we go. Defensive foul on Victor Wembanyama. The Fleas with the Fleas. Let's go. Detroit getting whooped. Love to see it. I mean, it's only 14. It's only 14. And Wemby and Fox have been phenomenal tonight. I mean, Wemby is what? 6 for 10, and Fox is 7 for 10. Whereas Cade Cunningham only has 5 points and is 2 for 9, and it's only a 14-point beatdown right now, which is not a lot at all. Not a lot at all. Thomas said, I wish everyone would stop saying Cade is a superstar. Are you a Pistons fan, Thomas? Do you not see Cade Cunningham as a superstar? I thought you were a Pistons fan. Yeah, on the replay there above the scoreboard, looking down. Yeah, Wemby breaks the plane and comes through to try and block the shot and foul Stewart. Audacity Sports, what's up, Audacity? Nick Yak said, to beat the Spurs, you need to stop one of three, Wemby, Fox, or Castle. Watching League Pass with volume low, listening to you calling the game. Appreciate you, Yak. Appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, usually, you can kind of make that case for any team, right? Like, you obviously want to stop at least one of the top 3 players on the team. Some teams are built to overcome that. Some teams aren't. Depending on the kind of shooting availability you have. Castle bringing it down against Javonte Green. After Stewart knocked down both free throws, it's only a 12-point game. With everything we've talked about, with all the advantages the Spurs have created for themselves today, Pistons only down by 12. Fox down the lane, throws a lob up top to Carter Bryant. What an explosion from Carter Bryant off the ground. I thought that was a terrible pass from Fox, who was so quick, but Carter Bryant bounced up so fast. A fall-away jumper from Cade Cunningham over Castle got it to go. And that's where Cade Cunningham's just going to have to live. He's just going to have to live out of the mid-range against the Spurs team because of the pressure that Castle provides, forces Cade Cunningham to get downhill. And because of the presence of Victor Wembanyama in the paint, it forces Cade Cunningham to settle for a lot of pull-up jumpers, which is not really a strength of his game. Castle draws the foul, and Javonte Green gets the layup to go. He's going to the foul line for one more. And they get it quickly back up to 15 if he knocks down this free throw here. Pistons just having a really tough time of guarding the Spurs tonight. Oh my, Carter Bryant. he puts Marcus Sasser on the poster. Sasser doesn't jump, but he gets caught underneath Carter Bryant as he Thomas said Cade is not aggressive enough and his jump shot is broke. I don't know if the jump shot's broke. I don't know if I agree with that one. I tell you what, every time he plays the Knicks, he's aggressive. Maybe he just needs to imagine orange and blue on the other side. Here we go. Steph Castle did knock down his and one free throw. I can see where you're coming from, though, brother. It makes sense. Cunningham down the lane against Wemby. Scoop layup. Can't get it to go. Wemby knocks the ball loose. Picked up by Fox. Pushing it the other way. Fox shot out of the cannon. Driving it down. Euro step. Scoop layup with the right hand. Got it to go for De'Aaron Fox. And he's looking for the foul call. Does not get it. It is now a 17-point lead yet again for the Spurs, which ties the largest lead of the game. And Fox is up to 20 points in the first half here. Duren tries to hit the backdoor cut, but gets kicked out of bounds on the pass. Duren back in the game, by the way. Daniel Dash said, yeah, you want that number 4 because we love the Clippers, Kings, Cavs backcourt, E.G. Mitchell, Harden, Schroeder, Keon Ellis. Audacity said, not looking good tonight for my boy. No worries. Don't think we had more than a 3-game losing streak. I don't think you have. Cade Cunningham throws it away, but a foul is called late. Now, the Spurs have lost their challenge, and I think that was part of the reason why Wemby was like, don't challenge it. Too early in the game to use a challenge. But honestly, they just bail Cade Cunningham out there. Bail him out. Bad pass from Cade, should have been a turnover. But the Pistons catch a break. They get the ball back. Trailing by 17. They got to make something happen. You don't want to fall behind by too much. They get it into Javonte Green. Green gets it back to Cunningham. Cunningham has really struggled today. He's being guarded by Carter Bryant. A very good defender, but a rookie. Rookie nonetheless. Vassell now switches on to him. He's coming to his left off the screen. Hesitates. Wemby switched on to him. They get it inside to Duren. Pump fake. Steps through. Pump fakes on Wemby. Gets the layup to go on Duren. And the foul on Victor Wembanyama. How many fouls is that on Vic now? That's only 2 fouls. It's only the second foul on Victor Wembanyama. But Duren does an excellent job. And I talked about this earlier in the season with Jaylen Duren. The biggest development improvement in his game and what helped launch him into being an all-star this season was his patience. He's just become incredibly patient. He catches the ball. He analyzes the situation, whether or not he can go quickly and flip it up into the rim, or has to hit a pump fake, or has to hit a pivot move, or one more dribble to get under the basket. Whatever he needs to do, he does a great job of remaining patient, not forcing anything. Obviously, he's got the big size and strength to power through contact, so that's not necessarily what he's worried about. He's just worried about getting guys off balance as he misses the free throw. Wemby with the rebound. Still a 15-point game. 7:40 to go here in the second quarter. And Castle has it up top. Coming to his left off a Bryant screen. Castle driving it down on Javonte Green. Down the lane. Kicks it out to nobody. Kevin Huerter's in the game. He comes up with the steal. Quick outlet to Cunningham. Down the lane. Goes up. Gets caught in the air. And he turns it over. And Cade still not figuring out how to solve this Wemby situation. Not understanding the Wemby matchup. Getting caught under the basket way too many times and turning it over. Or throwing up a bad shot and getting blocked. You're just going to have to stop short and shoot some floaters or pull up jumpers. Or pull it out and run some offense. They swing it over to Carter Bryant. He's going to fire a three. His first shot of the game. In and out. Can't get it to stay. Duren with the rebound. Here comes Cunningham. Cunningham bringing it down. On his left, attacking it down in the range. Fall away mid-range jumper. Got it to go. You're going to have to settle for those mid-range jumpers tonight, Cade. I know that, and I forgot to give Duren his and one bucket, by the way. So it's 39-52. It is a 13-point game now. With Wemby in the game, you got to be able to knock down those jumpers. You're capable of doing it. Obviously not a big strength of your game. Harper blows past Huerter in the lane. Huerter knocks the ball loose. Dylan Harper throws up a wild shot. And Duren with the rebound. Great defense from Kevin Huerter and the Pistons there. Duren has it up top. He's being guarded by Castle. He's going to settle for the mid-range jumper, and he's going to come up short. That's a bad shot from Jaylen Duren there. That's just bailing out the defense. You don't get it to anybody else. Duren ends up fouling Wembanyama. Should be a foul on the floor. Wemby did throw it up there from three, but it should be a foul on the floor. Wemby hit the pump fake. Duren bit on it just enough, and he jumped forward right into Wembanyama, who went into him and drew the foul. Wiz, what's up, Wiz? Well, the Knicks whooped this Spurs team. How come we struggle against them? How come the Knicks struggle against the Pistons? Matchups. The Pistons treated regular season matchups against the Knicks like it was an NBA Finals, which there's nothing wrong about that, but the Knicks just did not match their energy, and the Pistons just dominated them. You know, they treated it as a playoff game, and the Knicks treated it as a regular season game, and they paid the price for it. Wemby in the lane draws the foul, and Jaylen Duren. That's now 4 fouls on Duren. And Jaylen Duren upset, and I think he's got a gripe on that one. I don't think that's really a foul. I got to see the replay on it. Maybe he moved in. Let's see it. They get it to Wemby. Wemby turns. I don't know if that's a foul on Duren. I think Wemby gets away with one. I don't like that foul on Duren there. David Osh Jr. said, how Cade has superstar hasn't won nothing yet? Fair. Very fair. That's very fair. Very fair. The Flea said, define superstar, I'm curious to hear. I mean, everyone's going to have their different interpretation. To me, MVP caliber player, if you're in MVP conversations, you have to be in MVP conversations more than once in your career. You can't just have like a great one season and be considered a superstar. It has to be 2 or more seasons that you're in legitimate MVP conversations. And by legitimate, I just mean top 5. I just mean top 5. Maybe top 4. Maybe we cut it off at 5. Top 4. You have to be in the conversation for top 4 best season in the NBA. And I think Cunningham's in that conversation this year, but he's going to have to prove it again next year, right? You can't have one great season and be considered a superstar. So I agree with that. Javonte Green fires a 3, can't get it to go, but Duncan Robinson comes flying in for the putback. Everybody was too busy boxing out, so Duncan Robinson just ran into the lane and laid it up and in. Wemby knocked down both free throws, by the way. Bullet pass out to Dylan Harper. Pump fakes from 3. Fly-by defense from Stewart. And Harper gets into the lane for the finger roll. And some not great defense from the Pistons here, honestly. Cunningham down the lane. Fall-away jumper. He's going to have to settle for a lot of those, and he knocks it down. He's starting to learn. He's starting to figure out the matchup a little bit. You can't get all the way to the rim against this Spurs defense with Wembanyama on the court. You're going to have to settle for the fall-away jumper. Harper up top, coming to his left. He's being guarded by Huerter. They get it out to Vassell. Vassell swings through to his right, gets it over to Wemby. Wemby fires the midi, comes up well short. And now quick outlet to Cunningham. Hit ahead to Javonte Green. Javonte Green draws the foul on Harper. And Green will go to the foul line for 2 and cut it to 11. For all of the talk about how dominant the Spurs have been for majority of the night, the 13-point game, Green can cut it to 11. Audacity Sports said, no, we can't stop Wemby, but stop everything else. Dang, remember the 04 Pistons did that to the Lakers. Yep. You got to pick a path. You can't let the Spurs get whatever they want offensively here. Green knocks down the first free throw. He's got another one coming. It can't be Wemby and Fox and Harper and Castle. You got to stop somebody. Daniel Dash said, Cade is NBA League MVP candidate because Detroit could go 14 to 60 win season within a 2-season span. Credit where credit is due, but that is an inconceivable from reversal by a perennial lottery team. I mean, yeah, but they're here now, right? So, yeah, that was the case for sure, but they're here now. Off of the back of the fact of all the improvement that Cade Cunningham made to his game, right? There are so many deficiencies this Pistons team has, especially offensively, and Cade has gotten them to hovering around a top 10 offensive team in the league. Fox dancing with it, gets in the lane, almost turns it over. He does turn, no, Cornette picks up the loose ball, doesn't turn it over. Fox ends up getting hit in the face. Cornette picks it up, kicks it out. Keldon Johnson fires the three, comes up short. Javonte Green with the rebound, and now the Pistons are taking up their defense. It's an 11-point game. Dennis Jenkins bringing it down. Driving to his left in the lane against Cornette. Kicks it out to Duncan Robinson. And a foul on De'Aaron Fox, who's upset with the foul call. David Osh Jr. said, what does E-seed 1 mean? 0? I think having the number 1 seed is pretty important for a playoff run. I mean, they're tied for the best record in the NBA. So that's got to mean something. Daniel Dash said, Detroit just has to hang in there. Yeah, they're hanging in there. They've yet to let the lead explode to 20 as Duncan Robinson misses a free throw. They've yet to allow the lead to explode to 20, where on multiple occasions it could have. They've hung around. It's now 11. Robinson misses the first one. He's got one more coming. The Flea said, I saw a stat that said almost 70% of Detroit possessions ends in his hands. Shots, assists, pass to a missed shot or turnover. It's Knicks or nothing, but Cade has Detroit on his back. Yeah, Cade has Detroit on his back. It's been an incredible year from Cunningham. He's going to have to repeat some of the success. Pull-up jumper from Vassell gets it to go out of the mid-range. Robinson did knock down the second free throw, by the way. So it's a 12-point game. 4:15 to go. Brian Jacobs with the Brian. Stewart down the lane. Pump fake, leans in, flips it up with the left hand. Wild shot, can't get it to go. Stewart upset with himself. Robinson goes for the steal. Vassell has an open lane. He's bringing it down. Crosses over on Harris to the rim. Righty layup. Got it to go for Devin Vassell. What a finger roll layup high off glass to get it over the shot blocker Isaiah Stewart coming over. And then now the lead's back up to 14. Every time the Pistons try to answer the run, the Spurs have an answer to their answer. Dennis Jenkins down low to Stewart, draws the foul on Cornette, and Stewart's going to go to the foul line for 2. Vassell pulls his team together to talk to him for a little bit. 3:44 to go here in the second quarter. Isaiah Gardner said Cade is trash. Not me seeing him have tour dates. He's been in a slump lately. He for sure has been in a slump lately. Brian Jacobs said, just give the Pistons a pump fake. They're biting on everything. They are. They're flying around, overextending to the three-point shooters of the Spurs here. Honestly, they're not even really knocking down threes at a high level so far tonight. I mean, Champagne's 0 for 1 from 3. He's only taken 1. Fox is 8 for 11. They're doing a bad job of jumping on his pump fakes. And for good reason, he's 8 for 11. As Stewart goes 1 for 2 from the foul line, so 13-point game. Here come the Spurs. Vassell hasn't knocked down a 3, or maybe he's knocked down 1. Johnson hasn't. Cornette obviously not a 3-point shooter. So doesn't make a ton of sense as to why they're jumping on so many threes here tonight. Fox, the step back mid-range jumper over Duncan Robinson, got it to go, and De'Aaron Fox is on one tonight. He is now up to 22 first half, or 20 first half points. Harris has it up top. It's a 15-point game again. They get it back to Harris. Harris on the left wing, hands it off to Robinson, driving to his right, kicks it up top to Stewart, wide open straightaway 3. Got it to go for Isaiah Stewart. And it's back to 12. The Pistons have had an answer for every Spurs answer, but the Spurs have had an answer for every Pistons answer. They got out to an early lead, and they've been able to keep it ever since. Haven't really been able to extend it, but haven't allowed it to dig back down into single digits too far. It's gone down to 9 a couple of times, but not any further than that. It could get back to that now. It's a 12-point game. They get it over to Dennis Jenkins. Jenkins has it up top. Fox missed a pull-up three, by the way, and that's how the Spurs got the ball. The Pistons got the ball back. They get it down low to Harris. Harris back to Stewart to the rim, throws down a slam, but it's a foul on the floor before the dunk from Stewart. So the ball will remain with the Pistons. No, they're the bonus. So 2 free throws for Tobias Harris here. 2:36 to go. Cade Cunningham going to come back in to close out this quarter. Brian said, Duren fell for the same Wemby three-point fake 3 times, resulting in 3 fouls. He did. He did. Very undisciplined game from Duren tonight. If Wemby's going to settle for a 24-foot jump shot, you live with Wemby settling for the 24-foot jump shot. What are you doing jumping for a Wemby jump shot anyway? You just got to put a hand up. There's nothing you can do. You're not blocking it. So really bad, really undisciplined game from Jaylen Duren tonight. Isaac Garner said Cat plays better defense on Wemby than Duren. Yeah. Harris knocks down both free throws. It's a 10-point game. 2:30 to go. Here comes Castle. Wemby also back in. I think they're matching Wemby and Cunningham minutes. Just keep Cunningham under wraps all night long by having Wembanyama stand under the rim. They get it to Castle. Castle being guarded by Cunningham. Castle pulls it out. Castle dancing with it. Driving to his left. Leaves it off for Wemby. The straightaway 3 for Wemby. In and out, can't get it to stay. And a loose ball foul on Tobias Harris trying to keep Keldon Johnson off the glass. And they're in the bonus, so 2 free throws for Keldon Johnson now. Yak said, Pistons also missing free throws. They have missed a couple of free throws tonight. For sure. For sure. David Osh Jr. said, Knicks fans trolling Pistons. Love it. Kind of love it, too. Kind of love it, too. Keldon Johnson knocks down the first one. He's got another one coming. Chaos Master? What's up, Chaos? I need Devin Vassell to turn up. He's got what? 7 points? 7 points, 35 from the field. It is a Fox and Wemby night, so if they start to slow down in the second half, expect Devin Vassell to pick his play up a little bit as well. Cunningham spinning off a Castle. Kicks out to nobody, but Harris able to save it. Harris up top. Telling everybody to move out of the way. He's trying to get it back to Cunningham. He does. Attacking Castle off the bounce. Coming to his left. Step back. Fall away. Mid-range jumper. Too strong. Can't get it to go. Excellent defense from Castle, who claps it up for himself. Good defense from Steph Castle. Forcing the tough shots. Wemby up top. Coming to his left off a Champagny screen. Great defense from Stewart. Kicks it up top to Champagny. Now over to Vassell. Vassell. Isolating against Duncan Robinson, driving to his right, down the lane, kicks it out to Wembanyama. Left wing 3, he's open. And Wemby makes him pay by knocking down the 3. And that is part of the reason why Duren keeps jumping for that pump fake. And then Cade Cunningham's pass attempt gets knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Pistons here. Bernard Johnson, what's up, Bernard Johnson? Vassell, surrounded by 3 Pistons. It's just not good defense. Vassell's a good basketball player. He's a pretty good driver of the ball. Cunningham scoop play with the right hand. Smokes it. Wemby was there. Cunningham, too nervous about the shot block from Wemby. I get it. Keldon Johnson across the lane. Reverse layup. Can't get it to go, but draws the foul. He's going to the foul line for 2. And we talked about the Pistons hanging around. But Keldon Johnson can quickly push this lead back up to 7. A quick 7-0 run for the Spurs here if Johnson knocks down his free throws. Pistons struggling to close this quarter out right now. So 2 free throws for Keldon Johnson. He knocks down the first one. He's got another one coming. Thomas Rose said Cade is soft. I don't think Cade is soft. I think he's seen a 7'5" alien. Again, I've said it. You're trying to finish at the rim against the best shot-blocking big man in the NBA by far. Why would you do that? Why would you continuously go to the basket and try to finish against Victor Wembanyama? You're going to have to settle for some floaters and some pull-up 2s. He's got to adjust his game. He's not adjusting it. They get over to Holland, hands it back off to Harris. Johnson did knock down both free throws. Cross the lane, Harris, hands it off to Robinson. Robinson gets caught in the air. Over to Harris, back to Robinson. Robinson gets closed out to by Wemby, hits a pump fake, drives to the rim, leans in, lefty layup. Can't get it to go. Fight for the loose ball rebound, knocked out of the air. Cunningham hits the floor. Spurs out and running. Vassell picks up his handle, gets it out to Castle. Castle on the right wing. Coming to his right, off the Wemby screen. Kick it over to Wemby. Wemby being guarded by Cunningham. Wemby tagging to his left, down the lane, draws some contact and a foul, and Wemby will go to the foul line for 2. And the Pistons playing a really undisciplined brand of defense against Victor Wembanyama tonight. Just hands all over him, pushing him around, and I guess they're trying to physical the game up against Wembanyama, but that's not how you do it. You do it before he catches the ball. Not when he has the ball in his hand, then he can easily draw the foul on you, which he's done multiple times tonight. He's at the foul line for 2 free throws. Knocks down the first one. That gives him 20. He's got another one coming. Jeremy Holt, what's up, Jeremy? Oh, was Cade soft against the Knicks? He was not. He was super dominant against the Knicks. If he would just squint his eyes a little bit and instead of seeing Spurs jerseys and see Knicks jerseys, maybe he'd play a little bit better tonight. But he is 5 for 16 so far for 11 points. Not great. Not a great night. And a lot of it is he's just not adjusting his game against Wemby tonight. Wemby is the best rim protecting big in the NBA by far. You can't just continuously, recklessly drive to the rim and expect to get fouls and finish over him. You're going to have to settle for some floaters, settle for some pull-up jumpers. Wemby did knock down both free throws. Harris has it up top, hands it off to Cunningham. Cunningham being guarded by Carter Bryant, directing some traffic, driving to his left, putting his head down, stopping at the foul line, kicks it in the corner to a wide-open Harris, and Harris makes him pay, knocking down the 3. There you go. There you go. It was a 19-point game. They cut it to 16. Spurs will have the final shot to get it over to Vassell. Vassell coming to his left off a Wemby screen. Sidestep, fall away 3, a terrible shot. Comes up well short, well defended by the Pistons. Poorly executed by the Spurs, and that'll be the end of the first half there. 71-55. It's a 16-point game. Honestly, not too bad if you're a Pistons fan, in my opinion. Obviously, not a very good game so far, but it's only a 16-point game. Only a 16-point game with Cade Cunningham playing pretty poorly so far, and Wembanyama and De'Aaron Fox going off. Right? Wembanyama and De'Aaron Fox going off in that first half, and you only find yourself down by 16 with Cade Cunningham not having a very good game. It's not a bad position to be in. Obviously, it's not a good position to be in, but all things considered, in context, not bad. Not bad. You gave up 71 first half points to the Spurs. You don't really want to see that. Defense has to be better, right? If anything abandons the Pistons, their defense needs to allow them to remain in the game. If you weren't an Ausar Thompson fan or didn't think he was super integral to this Pistons team, kind of seeing a little bit here tonight. Ausar Thompson, by far, third best player on the team, third most important player on this Pistons team. Boy, oh boy, did they need him. Really struggling to stop the Spurs here tonight. A little bit also just the Spurs are just hot. The stars for the Spurs are just hot tonight. Right? Wemby, 24 first half points, 7 rebounds. Duren struggling tonight as well. That's another thing. Your 2 All-Stars, Cunningham and Duren. Pretty bad nights. Pretty bad nights, and you're down by 16. It should be significantly worse, and it isn't. You're hanging around. You're finding ways to hang around. And all you need is one good stretch from Cade Cunningham or Jaylen Duren to get back into this one. Isaiah Garner said, Cade not being a good three-point shooter isn't helping his game. Not at all. Not at all. That is the last step for Cade Cunningham. If he truly wants to hit superstardom, like some of you guys were debating the Cade Cunningham superstar thing, if he truly wants to hit superstardom, that three-point shot has to come around to respectability. It is not respectable right now. 33% is not respectable. He's got to get it to at least 35, 36%, which is around league average, right? Got to get it to that point. Isaiah Garner said, Cade not better than Brunson, all I have to say. The biggest argument is always going to come down to, well, you're going to have to show it in the playoffs. So, you're going to have to show it in the playoff. You're going to have to show it in the playoff. Nick Yak said 16 points with Duren with 4 fouls and Thompson out. Yeah, Duren 4, that's a great point. Your 3 best players, not almost none, but very limited impact in that first half, and you're down by 16. That's a dangerous place to be in if you're the San Antonio Spurs. Only a 16-point lead with those threes going against the Pistons tonight, right? Thompson goes out early with the ankle sprain. Duren has 4 fouls, and Cade Cunningham throwing up tour dates so far tonight, 5 for 16 from the field. And yet you're only down 16 points with Wemby and De'Aaron Fox going off. it could be significantly worse. Now, it could continue to be this bad come second half, and they could just never really truly get back into this game and end up losing. But you're giving yourself an opportunity here to have a moment, have a stretch here where you can get back into this one. Thomas said, Trajan Langdon did nothing to help this team at the deadline. Not a thing. Not a thing, Thomas. Absolutely. Absolutely not a single thing was done. Because I'll tell you what, if JB Bickerstaff wants to throw Kevin Huerter out there in a playoff situation, the other team is like, oh, thank goodness, they got Kevin Huerter out there. Woof! That's sweat off my brow. Kevin said, why do you have Victor Wembanyama listed as 10'2"? Is he not 10'2"? Did he grow a little bit more? Is he 10'8" now? I mean, who knows how tall Victor Wembanyama is? Kevin? Who knows? We don't have instruments to measure people that tall. We don't have instruments to measure people that tall. I mean, you've been to the doctors. You've stepped on that weight, and then they lift the thing up, and they measure how tall you are. They got that to measure people up to 7 feet tall. They don't have it to measure people past that. It's not possible. So he might be 10'2". I don't know. I had to guesstimate. I just had to look up and be like, that seems like 10 feet to me. So that's what I'm going with. Thomas Rowe said he's not a superstar. He's way too inconsistent. I'll tell you this. Whether you feel like he is or he isn't, superstars truly are made in the playoffs. So he wants to make himself a superstar. He's going to have the opportunity to do it in this playoff run here. Number 1 seed. They're going to have favorable matchups throughout the playoffs for the most part. They're going to have home court advantage throughout the playoffs. In the Eastern Conference, they're going to have that number 1 seed. So if he wants to put himself out there as a superstar, his opportunity will come playoff time. Audacity Sports, we should have made the move for Miles Bridges. Should have made the move for literally anybody. Literally anybody. I mean, if you really wanted to go out there and compete for the championship this year, you should have went and go grab Michael Porter Jr. Now, maybe Michael Porter Jr. wasn't available. Maybe the Nets were like, nah. But you're telling me if you didn't offer that Mikal Bridges package and say, hey, man, here's 4 first-round picks. Here's 4 first-round picks. You're telling me that they're not giving you Michael Porter Jr., right? And you can still compete for a championship this season? This season. You're the number 1 seed. My guy Jacob Ball, appreciate you, Jacob. Appreciate you. Very generous super chat. Thank you. He said, I got to ask, what's the best meal you can cook? The best meal I can cook? I'll tell you what, I cook up a mean bowl of ramen. Ramen's not bad. My ramen's not bad. I'm a grill master. I love me a grill. I'll cook up some baby back ribs. Beautifully. Beautiful rack of ribs. Kevin said, Wembanyama 7'5"? I mean, we think he might be 7'5". He might be 7'5". He might be 8'3". He might be 9'2". I don't know, brother. I don't know. We didn't think a human could be as tall as Wemby. So we're just guesstimating out here, man. Just guesstimating. We don't have instruments that go that high. We got to just guess. We just got to guess it out. My guess, 10'2". 10'2". Nick Yak said, call it what you want, but the dude can play at the highest level. For sure. Like I said, everyone has their different interpretations of what a superstar is. So, like I said, whether you consider him a superstar or not, he's going to have the opportunity to cement himself as that come playoff time, right? Isaiah Gardner said, I want my Charlotte to knock them out in the first round. Your Charlotte, Isaiah Gardner? Your Charlotte now? I love Charlotte. I love watching Charlotte, who absolutely dominated the Boston Celtics last night. That was a fun one. Isaiah Gardner, Hornets playing great ball right now, and the offense is looking great. Defense is looking great for the Hornets as well, finding ways to be fantastic defensively. Kevin said Yao Ming was taller. I mean, Yao Ming might have been 10'5". We don't know. We don't have instruments to measure people that high, man. That's once you get past 7 feet, we just gotta start guessing. My guess 10'2". That's what I'm going with. Brian Jacobs said, Wemby has been growing, and he's a lot stronger. Yeah, I mean, the thing about basketball players that I think is a misconception all the time, especially in modern basketball, with how fast the game is a lot of people are like, oh, he's gotta bulk up, he's gotta add a ton of muscle on. It's like, no, not really. Like he's got to get stronger, is the main thing. But when you're a basketball player, the thing you have to strengthen the most is your legs and your core. Like basketball players of possibly any other sport, any other major sport, between, football players, soccer players, baseball players, basketball players got to have an extremely strong core because that balance has to be there, man. That balance has to be there. And when you have a high center of gravity like Wemby does at about 11'8", you gotta strengthen that core. Because teams, and we've seen it, it's when he struggles most. Teams, get up and under him, trying to push him off the spot and try to knock him off balance as much as possible. When you have a high center of gravity, it's not a difficult thing to do. It's not a difficult thing to do. The Flea said KG stayed slim, dominated. Yeah, Kevin Durant stayed slim and dominated. But those guys strengthened their core. You weren't able to just bump into them and knock them off balance very easily. Strengthen their legs, strengthen their core, right? Got incredibly good staying on balance. Brian Jacobs said Manute and George were both 7'7". We think they were 7'7". They might have been 11'8". They might have been 12'9". I mean, we once you get that tall, we just gotta guess. You just gotta guess. Brian Jacobs said when teams get under them, yeah, I mean that's how you guard a tall guy. That's how you've always been able to guard a tall guy. Is you knock them off balance. You try to get them off their spot, force them out a little farther than they want to be, than where they want to catch it, and you try to keep them off balance as best as you can. Right? That's how you guard them. That's how you guard them. Jacob Ball, appreciate you, Jacob. Said Sheffy is spelled go, appreciate you. Do you think the refs would have called the Knicks game last night the same if it were a playoff game? Yes, I do. I think last night was kind of approached as if it was a playoff game. I will say this, though, Jacob. I don't think that refereeing crew last night will be refereeing too many playoff games this season. It was, you can look at the catalog we have on the channel. We've covered a lot of basketball games this season. We cover at least 6 games a night. We've covered multiple doubleheader nights. We've even snuck in a handful of triple header nights this season. So we've covered a lot of basketball this season. And objectively, that was the worst officiated first quarter I've seen this season. Right? Like maybe there have been worse that I haven't watched because I don't watch every single game. But that was the worst officiated first quarter I've seen this season. The rest of the game, fine. Missed calls here and there. That happens. I'm not too mad about the way the rest of the game was officiated, but that was by far the worst first quarter of officiating I've seen this season. Jeremy said, Cade put 42 on the Knicks. In case y'all forgot. Nobody forgot, brother. Nobody forgot. Nick Yak said, in the next few years, we will have 2 more taller coming into the league. Who's that? Who's coming in the next few years? Nikki, what's up, Nikki? I appreciate what you said the other night about not wanting to have sports betting companies as sponsors. Very admirable. Appreciate you, Nikki. Appreciate you. I just can't, it's not something I indulge in, so I then can't have, I don't feel right advertising it to other people being like, well, you guys should. I'm not going to do it, but you guys should. So I can't do that. I can't do that. My guy Jacob Ball, incredibly generous tonight, Jacob. You know you don't have to do that, brother. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you for that. He sent out a gift membership. That went to Benzino. Appreciate you, Jacob Ball. Thank you for your generosity tonight. Also, we could do this and go around the league a little bit. I'm over here yapping. Nick Yak said you need to bring out your tape measure. They only make tape measures that are 7 feet tall. After that, we just got to guess. We just got to guess. I hope you guys know I'm trolling. We're joking. We're throwing jokes around. I got to blow my nose real quick. Hold on. I have been messing with Wemby's height stat all season long. He started off as 7'5", and then it was announced he was actually 7'6", so I changed it. And then I was like, well, I don't know, maybe he's 7'8" at this point. And then I have slowly crept his height up all season long. He's now up to 10'2". By the time the playoffs start, he might be 12'9". Who knows? Who knows? Brian Jacobs said they're too unathletic. I think they might not make it. Yeah, like the thing that's special about Wembanyama is his ability. One, it's how much he loves basketball. I mean, he's dedicated his entire life. Brian Jacobs said, put 2 tapes together. That's not allowed. It's not allowed. It's in the tape measure rule book. You're not allowed to stack them next to each other. So we just got to guesstimate. We really just got to guess. There's really no other way to figure it out other than guessing. Jacob Ball said, there's some kind of instrument length joke in here somewhere, but I haven't been able to put it together. It's in there somewhere. It's in there somewhere. Yeah, I believe one in Israel and one in high school. We will see. I mean, we knew about Victor Wembanyama when he was 15, 16 years old, and people knew kind of like right away, oh, this guy's going to be an NBA player for sure. These other guys I haven't heard of. Now, I don't know everything, obviously. But I try to keep an eye out for any big names entering the realm of possibly being an NBA player, just because I like keeping track of that stuff. But we'll see. We'll see. The thing that was special about Wembanyama is his athleticism, his love for basketball, his dedication to it. You know, he's been stretching his feet out since he was a young teenager. He's been trained professionally since he was a child. You know, all of the things played out to a point where he can get to where he is now as an NBA basketball player. It wasn't just he grew to be tall and so he got into basketball. He was going to be an NBA player whether he ended up 6'8" or 7'6". The special part is that he ended up 7'6". Danis Jenkins starts the second half. So no Ausar Thompson, he's done for the night. That's what that means. They hand it off to Cade. Cade turns it over, trying to get it back to Duren off the handoff. Wemby picks up the steal. I would stop involving Wembanyama in all these plays if I was Detroit. Vassell kicks it over to Castle. Castle on the right wing, attacking to his left. Fallback jumper in the paint over Duren. Can't get it to go, but Wemby right there with a one-handed putback. 18, the lead goes. Harris has it up top, being guarded by Vassell. Nazalan with the Nazalan. It's Riley, by the way, with the Riley. Danis Jenkins under the rim with the Nash dribble, fall away baseline jumper, throws up an air ball. Duren picks up the loose ball. Hands it off to Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson in the left corner three, splashes it. Cade Cunningham hit the floor. Didn't see the collision there, but it's back down to 15. They're hanging in there. Riley said, who do you have for the Lakers game tonight? I don't know who the Lakers are playing. As Champagny knocks down his first three of the game, then he comes up limping, pushing it the other way. But he answers that three right away. Keeping the Pistons pretty far away here. They get over to Robinson, spinning off of Duren, half spin, has it at the foul line, kicks it out to Harris. Harris hands it off to Cunningham. Cunningham being chased by Castle. Crossing over to his right, stops, leaning in, fall away jumper over him. Tough shot, throws up the air ball. And Castle hyping himself up again. Another great defensive stop by Castle. And he's got Cade Cunningham really struggling tonight. 5 for 17 from the field. He's going to have to work on his offensive moves when he can't get all the way to the rim. Wemby fall away foul line jumper comes up short. Cunningham with the long rebound, pushing it the other way. Spurs do a good job getting back on defense. Cunningham crosses over to his left. Baseline pull-up jumper. That one in rhythm, but he throws up another air ball. And now here come the Spurs pushing the other way. They got numbers. Castle shoves it over to Vassell. Vassell lobs it up top to Wemby. Good hustle from Duren to get back and try to contest to get knocking the ball loose, but Wemby just too tall. Catches it cleanly anyway and lays it up and in. And now it's up to 20. And the Pistons almost turn it over. Danis Jenkins bringing it down now. Almost a backcourt violation. Jenkins pushed it though. Fox almost picked his pocket, but the ball ends up out of bounds. So it'll stay here with the Spurs, but a timeout by the Pistons. Want to talk a couple things over. And we talked about it in the first half. The Pistons did a good job not allowing the lead the balloon up to 20. Hovering it around 15 all night long, getting it back down to 10 a couple of times, even getting it to single digits to 9 a couple of times, but never really truly putting together a big enough run to really challenge the Spurs for this lead here. And now in the second half, they ballooned it up to 20. Thomas Rowe said, Cade 2 air balls. He's going to have to work on that mid-range game, that in-between game. On nights like tonight, where you can't get all the way to the rim and you're getting pressured like you are from Castle, who's a very good defender, you got to find ways in the in-between areas. Floaters, push shots, fall-away jumpers. You got to find a way to get more balanced. And this is, a lot of people are like, oh, wait till that three-point shot comes around. And the Spurs are a unique puzzle. No other team, very, very, very few other teams can replicate what the Spurs are capable of doing. But no other team is able to replicate it to the level that the Spurs are capable of doing this, where they have Castle, who's an elite, absolute elite perimeter defender. And then you have Victor Wembanyama, who is by far the league's best interior defender, right? That combination is ridiculously difficult to go up against. And no other team could really replicate it. But that does not mean that you go 5 for 18 from the floor. You still got to be able to find spots to get to. And whether that's out of the high post, the mid post, just run some offense, catch into that mid post area and go to work. He is not doing any of that right now. He's not doing any of that. He's constantly trying to shoot off the dribble, fall away jumpers over Castle. And it's not good offense. It's not good offense right now. Thomas Rowe said his first 3 possessions, second half, turnover and 2 air balls. Yep. Just trying to force it right now. Way too much. Also, part of the thing, Cade Cunningham just not playing a smart game either. Multiple times, he's brought in Jaylen Duren to come set the screen for him, which is kind of like their entire half-court offense, which is also why a lot of people are kind of down on the Pistons' ability to truly make a finals run this year. Because their half-court offense is truly just Cade Cunningham, Jaylen Duren pick and roll. And it's great, because those players are great, but in doing so, you're just bringing Victor Wembanyama into the action over and over and over and over again. And it's like, what? You can't do that. You can't have Victor Wembanyama come out and just be involved in your pick and roll game because he's going to muck it up all night. And guess what? Vic has mucked it up all night. Here we go. Cade coming to his right for screen. He finds open space out of the mid-range. He can't get it to go down, though. Vassell gave a good contest as he came over for the switch. Castle hits Keldon Johnson rolling to the rim, gets the layup to go, and it's up to 22, and the Spurs are starting to pull away entirely. Can the Pistons come back and keep it close? And maybe make a late run if they can get hot. But 22 right now, as Danis Jenkins gets the ball knocked out of his hands again. Just might not be ready for prime time right now. Thomas Rowe said another broke jump shot. Thomas said, watch Cade play no defense and just play sloppy. I mean, if you're not a Cade Cunningham fan, tonight is the night to let it out. I can't even really push back too much on it. I'm a big Cade Cunningham fan, but can't even push back on it tonight. He's been bad. Harris has it in the mid-post being guarded by Johnson. They show a double team. They knock the ball out of his hands, just doing way too much blind dribbling. Holland able to pick up the loose ball, though. The Spurs couldn't pick it up, and he lays it up and in before the shot clock violation. And then quickly, De'Aaron Fox pushes the other way, and it's a goaltend on Javonte Green, and that's 2 points for the Spurs. So even when they score, they don't get back on defense and give up a wide-open push layup for De'Aaron Fox going the other way, just pushing the ball down the other way. J.B. Bickerstaff's going to use his challenge here. Okay. Might win that. Brandon Boyd with the Brandon, and the Pistons gave away Jaden Ivey. Wouldn't allow him to fully heal. Yeah, really weird situation, Brandon. I get it. I get why they did it, in the sense that it was this is his 4th season. His rookie contract is going to be up. He's going to be a free agent. They did not expect to bring him back. But I completely agree with you, Brandon. I was a huge Jaden Ivey fan coming out of Purdue. I understand the injury robbed him of a lot of his athleticism and all of that, but he was still a knockdown three-point shooter. He was shooting over 40% from 3 this year. He was an option that you had that now you don't have. Now you are playing Dennis Jenkins in his role, and Dennis Jenkins is just laying an egg today. He starts the second half here. He's already out of the game here. They brought in Javonte Green for him early to start the second half because he was not providing anything. Not ball handling, not shooting, not attacking, not pressure, not defense, nothing. So I don't know what Dennis Jenkins is out here to do for this team tonight. He's really struggling in this Spurs matchup. Brian said, I was about to say that about Ivy. Yeah, at worst, Ivy, he was robbed of his athleticism with a really terrible injury. Maybe he'll get it back as he continues to heal. They didn't even give him the full year to heal. So it's a successful challenge, clean block from Green, wipe the 2 points off the board, and the Pistons get the ball. They had imminent possession. Isaiah Gardner said, I love Cade, but I hate how the Pistons trying to act like these tough guys. Nobody is scared of them. I agree. I don't think anybody's scared to play the Pistons. I think the Pistons would love for people to be afraid of them. I don't think anybody's afraid to play the Pistons. They could absolutely make a finals run, sure, if everything, goes right. But there's a lot going against them. They're an incredibly flawed team. And they didn't do anything to address their flaws at the trade deadline. In a year that definitely felt like you probably should have. You probably should have. Thomas said, and he's a turnover machine. He is a turnover machine. I rant about it all the time. Pistons fans have tried to tell me, well, he's got the ball in his hands all the time. His usage is extremely high. And I'm like, yeah, that's valid for a lot of turnovers. Not four turnovers. 3.5. Okay, anything 3.5 is my bar. If you're over 3.5, if you're at 3.5 or over, that's crazy. That's way too many. And Cade is at 3.8 this season. And he was at 4.1 last year. So, I guess slight improvement, but not really. I look at other high-usage ball handlers throughout their careers. Shea, Brunson, Maxey. None of those guys are turnover machines like that. None of those guys are over 3. Nor have they ever been over 3. It's just a carelessness that Cade Cunningham plays with sometimes, thinking that he can make the home run play all the time, and he can't. He can't. Off the inbound, Javonte Green gets it and immediately pushes down the other end, hits the drop-off pass to Duren, and Duren gets fouled by Keldon Johnson. So he's going to the foul line for 2. Great push by Javonte Green there. Yak said, they're not the bad boys they want to be. I mean, you can't really be the bad boys in modern basketball. Isaiah Stewart just suspended 7 games. Unless you're willing to live with that, as Duren misses a free throw, unless you're willing to live with that, with just having guys suspended every now and again, it's not worth it. They try to be rough and tumble, but I think a lot of that is also bred to the fact that they're just not a very good offensive team overall. Fox has it up top, and so they have to be. They have to be defensively. Ball gets kicked out of bounds by Fox. Good pressure for Ron Holland there. Forced the turnover. Duren did knock down the second free throw. It's a 19-point game. Jeremy Holt said, what do you mean you love Cade? You were saying how trash he is earlier? He is playing like trash, objectively. Maybe that's what Isaiah Gardner was saying. I don't know. Cunningham down the lane. Leans into Wemby and a blocking foul on Wemby. Wemby can't believe the foul. Wemby flabbergasted. The Spurs don't have a challenge. They lost a challenge earlier in the game, which is why you don't challenge early in the game. Not sure about that foul call. Seemed like Cade just lost his balance and ran into Wemby on his way down. Cunningham has it up top, coming off the Duren screen. Driving to his right, kicks it over to Holland. Takes the lane, goes up, layup. Got it to go for Ron Holland. Great job by Ron Holland to take the lane. And Wembanyama will bring it down instead of settling for the spot of 3. Wemby runs right into Duren, and that's the 5th foul on Jaylen Duren. Jaylen Duren, an incredibly undisciplined game. Incredibly undisciplined game. Just playing defense with his hands, not his feet. Wemby. Duren throws the shoulder into him as Wemby tries to drive by him. Just not sliding his feet at all. Incredibly obvious foul on Duren. Just really undisciplined game for him. Jeremy said, it's just a physical play style. Thunder did it last year, as Castle has it up top. They're not good at the three ball. Refs, we're used to the team physicality come playoff time. We'll see. We'll see. Wemby loses the ball. Javonte Green involved. He dies for it. And we're going to get a jump ball situation here. Wemby versus, I believe, Isaiah Stewart here. Just under 8 minutes to go. Brian Jacobs said he had Beasley, could chew. I forgot the Pistons were good last year. They had Beasley. They had Hardaway. Spurs win the tip. Johnson in the middle of the lane. Throws up the floater. Got it to go for Keldon Johnson. Surrounded by 4 Pistons players. And he just muscles through the contact and finishes anyway. No foul called. Javonte Green gets it over to Cunningham. Cunningham up top. Swings through to his left off the Stewart screen. Cunningham driving it down in the lane. Snakes it back to his right hand. Scoops it up. Wemby. Looks like he got a piece of it. He got it to go down anyway. It looked like Wemby got a piece of it and probably a goaltend. So it's 2 points for Cunningham either way. Wembanyama trying to argue that he was being held by Stewart, so he couldn't truly get to the shot block there. He's got a little bit of a gripe, but not really. Fox pushing it the other way. Kicks it out to a wide-open Keldon Johnson. The straightaway three. Comes up short. Long rebound. Back out to Johnson. Ball knocked loose. Stewart dives for it. Saves it over to Cunningham. Cunningham bringing it down. He's got space. Gets caught in the air. Leaves it off. Harris. Wide open. Right wing three. Comes up short. Wemby with the rebound. Quick outlet to Vassell. Vassell bringing it down. He'll slow it down. Let's look for a good shot here with 7 minutes to go. They get over to Fox. Quick crossover to his left. Pulls it back. Leaves it off. Wemby catches. Pump fakes. And Ron Holland runs right into him and a foul on Holland. And the Pistons, again, really undisciplined, closing out the shooters tonight. Holland got the worst of it. He's on the floor holding his face. But the Pistons, really undisciplined closeouts tonight. Going for pump fakes. This time Holland doesn't go for the pump fake, but he steps in front of Wemby and then swipes his arms down and fouls him. Wemby's right hand as he was holding the ball, got the ball, got Holland swiped across his arms. Wemby's hands came flailing up because of the pressure. His right hand makes contact with Holland's face. Now Holland, really struggling, goes to the bench. Not sure if he got knocked in the eye or just the face. It might have been the eye, which is tough. Nazilance, remember the Beasley wiggle? Yeah. And he'll never play in the NBA again, likely. Castle has it up top, being guarded by Javonte Green. It is a 17-point game. Castle coming to his left, in the lane, blows past the defense, gets the layup to go past Green. They were too worried about the pick and pop for Wemby that Isaiah Stewart had to pop back out to guard Wemby and left the paint wide open. And a pull-up three for Cunningham, got it to go for Cade. Castle hit the floor trying to guard off the screen. Got tripped up a little bit by Harris. Trying to argue he got tripped there. They kick it out. Vassell wide open right corner three. Vassell can't get it to go. Cade Cunningham with the rebound, pushing it the other way. Cade hit it head to Herder. Herder crosses over on Wemby. Down the lane. Picks up his handle. Kicks it out to Harris. Harris up top. Coming to his right after Cunningham screen. Harris, in and out dribble. Driving to his right. Throws up the floater. Can't get it to go, but a foul on Keldon Johnson. And he's going to go to the foul line for 2, and we're halfway through this third quarter. Pistons not out of it yet. It's a 16-point game. Harris can cut it to 14. Nazalon said Thompson, a lead defender, too. That's what they're missing the most. Missing that defense. Jeremy said, at this point, give Kevin Huerter a go. Yeah, see if Kevin Huerter can get something going from the perimeter. They got nothing to lose. You're not wrong, Jimmy. You're not wrong. Daniel Dash said, I like Kevin Huerter. I've never been a Kevin Huerter fan. Harris knocks down the first free throw. Daniel Dash, red velvet. Harris knocks down both free throws. Unfortunately for Kevin Huerter right now, his best attribute is that he's a three-point shooter. but he's shooting 30% from three this year. So what is his best attribute in the NBA right now? I don't know. Castle has it up top, coming to his right. Now coming to his left. Blown past Green in the lane. Leaves it out, and a travel on Steph Castle. Taking one too many steps after picking up his handle. Steph Castle arguing it wasn't a travel, as most players in NBA do. I think he might be arguing, how dare you call it travel? You never call it travel. Seeing the replay here. There's the 1-2. And no, he doesn't bring it down. That's not a travel. He's got an argument. Doesn't bring that other foot down. It looked like he did. Maybe he dragged it. I don't know. But from that angle, Cade Cunningham couldn't get the scoop layup to go, but Paul Reed gets the tip and a timeout from the Spurs. It's down to 12. Here come the Pistons. Not out of it. Chipping away at the lead. 12-point game. 12-point game. Ozar's the heater on fire. Danny Dash said back to 16, almost the 38-23 margin again. Let's go around the league. Let's go around the league. A couple of games have ended. Jazz beat the Wizards. Unfortunately, career high for Ace Bailey, 32. Trae Young's debut does not. Well, maybe it goes as planned. I don't know. Let's check the box score. How did he even play? Trae Young, Washington debut, scores 21. I know, that's... Ace Bailey scored 21 of his career high in whatever quarter. That's not what we're here for. We're here for Trae Young. Trae Young had 12 points in 19 minutes, 1 for 5 from 3, 6 assists, 3 turnovers. Oh, Julian Reese imitating his sister. 20 rebounds, 10 offensive, 10 defensive. Look at Julian Reese making an impact out there. 18 and 20 for the young man. Okay. If you didn't know, Angel Reese's brother. If you didn't know. The starters were positive, though. I mean, look at this. They ended up losing by 10, but the starters were positive. The bench was absolutely horrific for them here tonight. When did Jaden Hardy end up on the Wizards? When did that happen? All right, here we go. We're checking back in. Got Raptors, Timberwolves, Warriors, Rockets on. Got Bulls, Suns. Okay. Here we go. Back into it. Wemby hands it off to Harper. Harper gets it out to Castle. Back up top to Wemby. Catches, pump fakes on Paul Reed. Euro steps down the lane, draws the contact. Can't get the floater to go, but it'll go to the foul line for 2. Honestly, I think maybe went a little too long without trying Paul Reed tonight for the Pistons. Paul Reed's been good this season. Really good as the third-string center. Might as well throw a different look to the Spurs. The Tucci, what's up, the Tucci? Is Duren hurt? Duren is not hurt. He's in bad foul trouble tonight. He's got 5 fouls already. He picked up his 5th foul early in this fourth quarter. Wemby knocks down the first free throw. He's got another one coming. Daniel Dash said Trae Young and Herder took the Hawks to the Eastern Conference Finals. Don't remind me, brother. Don't remind me. They went through the Knicks in that first round. Tucci said he ain't getting 15 points then. Probably not. I don't know what he's up to now, but probably not. Wemby knocks down the first free throw. He's got one more coming. Misses the second one. Cunningham with the rebound. 5:20 to go here. Cunningham up top, coming to his right off a double screen, driving to his right, kicks it up top to Stewart. No, over to Herder. Herder coming to his right of the screen, fires the 3, off the back rim, can't get it to go, hits the shot clock, and the ball is going to go back to the Spurs. Brian said, I swear I said, where's B-Ball Paul? He's out there now with Stewart. A little bit of a double big lineup. A little bit. You got Paul Reed and Stewart out there with Javonte Green, Herder, and Cunningham. They get over to Wemby. Wemby gets fouled by Paul Reed as he crumbles to the floor. It's a foul, I believe, actually on Javonte Green, pushing a little bit. I don't know. Brian Jacobs said, it looks silly, but at least Paul can make a 3. Yeah, he's a smart basketball player. He's got a funky play style for a big man that is unorthodox to guard. He's a pretty decent defender. Might as well try it. Might as well try it. Nothing's working tonight for the Pistons overall. They leave Julian Champagnie open for three. He can't knock it down, though. Here come the Pistons. Pistons have caught a break with the Spurs now getting cold from three-point range. This is giving them the opportunity to get back into this one. And Cade Cunningham throws it to nobody. Turnover for Cade. Seeing ghost out there right now for Cade Cunningham. Suns Gen said, Suns playing the real reassuring lineup of Maluak, Rasheer Fleming, and Amir Coffey. Is that at a necessity because of injury, or are you getting blown out right now? They get it into Wemby. Wemby has it up top, being guarded by Paul Reed. Wemby faces up, driving to his left, down the lane, leaves it off inside the castle, kicks it out to Bryant. They swing it around. Dylan Harper, wide open three. Can't get it to go. Castle knocks the rebound up in the air. Knocked out of bounds by Paul Reed. It's going to stay here with the Pistons. Great ball movement, that possession there for the Spurs. Ended up with a wide open three for not a very good three-point shooter. Pistons did a good job rotating and leaving Dylan Harper open. If they had to leave somebody open, Dylan Harper is the guy. Misses it, but they couldn't grab the rebound. LeVert is back in. They get it into Harper. Harper being guarded by Cunningham. He has it up top. Harper gets it over to Champagnie, goes to the right, lobs it up top to Wemby, who draws yet another foul. And the physicality from the Pistons backfiring in them, as Duren's picked up 5. They're in the bonus here in the third quarter yet again. They've been in the bonus for every single quarter so far here tonight. Trailing by 13. Trailing by 13. Wemby at the foul line for 2 free throws. Joseph, what's up, Joseph? Wemby knocks down the first free throw. He's got another one coming. Joseph said the Pistons been struggling against the Spurs this season. I mean, there's only 2 matchups. East versus West team, only 2 matchups. First game was pretty close. This game, not so much. Not so much. It's been a double-digit lead for a majority of the night here for the Spurs. What's up, Yer? Not late, brother. You're not late. Never late. Never late to the game. Here we go. 4 minutes to go for the Pistons in this third quarter. Cunningham bringing it down against Castle. They get it over to LeVert, over to Stewart. Stewart hands it off to Cunningham, coming to his right. Picks up his handle, gets it out to LeVert, ran off the line along the baseline, swings it around. Herder, left wing, swings through to his left, back up top. Stewart pump fakes, driving down to the lane, kicks it back out to Herder. Herder with Wemby flying to him, and Herder knocks down the 3. There you go, Kevin Herder. We were talking down in your name earlier. Way to come through, Kevin Herder. It's back to 12. Pistons not going anywhere, not going down without a fight. Castle dancing with it, gets it out to Wemby. Wemby will spot up for the 3, and Wemby will respond right back with a 3 of his own. And every time the Pistons think that maybe they're going to build a little momentum, the Spurs come out and throw some ice water on it. B-ball pump fakes and then draws the foul on Wemby off the pump fake. How many fouls is that on Wemby now? 3 fouls or 4? They say 3 right now. They might update it. We'll keep an eye on that. 3 fouls for now on Victor Wembanyama. Joe said, I'm super late today. I've been preoccupied with other things. Never late, brother. You're never late. Never late. Stream's open for 3 hours. Come in whenever you can. Cornette coming in for Victor Wembanyama. 3:20 to go here in the third. 15-point lead for the Spurs. Suns Gen said it's early in the game. We're going to go around the league again, and we're going to have to check out that Suns box score. LeVert has it up top. Kicks it over to Stewart. Left corner 3 for Isaiah Stewart. He throws up an air ball. Loose ball rebound goes over to Paul Reed. Herder has it in the paint. No look pass out to Stewart. Stewart the relocation 3. And Stewart knocks that one down right there. Didn't know he had that in his bag with the relocation 3. Relocated to the corner and knocked it down. Fox has it up top. Coming to his left off the Cornette screen. Picks up his handle. Inside pass to Cornette. Swings it out. Extra pass to Champagnie. Champagnie, the no hesitation 3, gets fouled. Gets fouled by Cunningham. What kind of closeouts have the Pistons been practicing? Absolutely reckless and sloppy closeouts by the Pistons tonight. Duren picked up 3 or 4 of his 5 fouls off of closeouts alone. Cade Cunningham fouls a 3-point shooter now. Ron Holland fouled Wemby previously, closing out to him. Really bad, undisciplined closeouts. Champagnie misses the first free throw. He's got 2 more coming, though. Champagny does knock down the second one. He's got one more coming. Brian Jacobs said, Wemby playing like what? Pistons are in foul trouble early, playing timid. I don't know if I'd describe them playing timid. They're still playing uber aggressive, and that is part of the problem. They are not adjusting to the way the game is being officiated, but they're also playing extremely sloppy defensively. Hacking and whacking away, running into guys on reckless closeouts. It's not smart play. LeVert crosses over inside the Paul Reed against Kornet. Lefty layup. Looks like Kornet maybe got a piece of it. Paul Reed picks it back up and knocks down the flip shot over him. And they got a little flex going on. Okay. Paul Reed trying to build some confidence for his team here. Battling down low, getting that finish. Fox driving it down, leaves it off to Kornet. Kornet shovels it out to Champagny. Pump fakes, driving the lane in the paint, throws up the floater. Can't get it, that goes and rolls off. Kornet battling on the glass. LeVert ends up with it. He's bringing it down. Ball of energy right now is Caris LeVert. LeVert up top, coming to is right after Paul Reed screen. Gets it over to Paul Reed. Paul Reed pump fakes. Hands it off, tries to hand it off to Cunningham. Ball got knocked loose by Dylan Harper. Cunningham dives for it, out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Spurs. Out of bounds off of Cunningham. That's just great pressure from the rookie Dylan Harper. That's just great pressure from Harper. It's a bad handoff. And a timeout from JB Bickerstaff, and he's using his challenge. As you're going to say, this is how the Pistons are going to play the Knicks in the playoffs. That's until they get to the conference finals. We'll see how it all shakes out. You're going to show the replay here to see who it's out on him. Oh, that's just Cade Cunningham knocking the ball loose. I mean, that's good pressure from Dylan Harper, but that might be out of bounds off of Cade Cunningham. I got to see that replay again. Here we go, slow motion. Harper touches it, and then Cade touches it, and then Harper touches it. That's out of bounds off of Dylan Harper. So the ball will go back to the Pistons here. 2 minutes to go. Mindset John. What's up, Mindset John? How's it going? It's going good, brother. How's it going with you? Just tuned into the stream after a tough loss last night. I missed the game, but heard the post comments and saw highlights. Better luck next time around. Good game so far. Good game. Good game last night. Good game so far tonight. For the most part, I mean, the Spurs have held a double-digit lead for a majority of the night. Closest the Pistons have gotten it since the double-digit lead was built is 9. The largest lead they built was 22. Brian Jacobs said, Cade is forcing. Not how the Pistons usually play. Yeah, I mean, I've made the Cade Cunningham criticism very clear tonight. He is not adjusted to having to face this level of ball pressure and interior pressure from Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama, the main culprit is due to the fact that he is not good enough in his in-between game right now. I know a lot of people talk about the three-point shot has to be better, and it does. That is a huge part of his game. But another huge part of his game that has to be better is that in-between game. The little fall-away 8-foot, 10-foot jumper so you don't have to get all the way to the rim when you have a shot blocker waiting for you down there like Victor Wembanyama. Just not consistently able to knock that shot down tonight. So he's had instances where he's tried to force it in the paint and has not been successful. He's had instances where he settled for the mid-range jumper that has not been successful the majority of the time. So the Pistons get the ball back. The officials seem a little tired with what JB Bickerstaff is doing right now, standing on the court. In the middle of announcing the call after the replay, Tony Brothers turned and looked at JB Bickerstaff as to be like, will you get back in the coaching box while I'm announcing this? They swing it out to Herter. Herter driving it down in the lane, flips it over the right hand. Got it to go for Kevin Herter. 5 big points for Herter. Knocks it to a 10-point game. Not out of this one yet, folks. Harper bringing it down. Harper has it up top, being guarded by Cunningham. Gets it over to Kornet. Kornet up top, being guarded by Paul Reed. Hands it off to Fox. Fox shot out of a cannon. Down the lane, flips it up the left hand. Can't get it to go. Battle on the glass for the rebound. Kornet knocks it loose, and Carter Bryant ends up with it. They get it over to Champagny, over to Harper. Harper on the right wing, swings through to his left, spins to his right off of Cunningham, pump fake, spins again, gets caught in the air, kicks it out to Bryant, pass fake, steps behind the three-point line, pass fakes again, gets it out to Champagnie, shot clock winding down, goes into Paul Reed, can't get the layup to go, but a foul on Paul Reed will send Champagnie to the foul line for 2. Hope I'm not getting sick, but I'm feeling it a little bit tonight. I'm feeling the sickness. I'm feeling the sickness. I could feel it for sure. Champagnie knocks down the first free throw. He's got another one coming. Brian Jacobs said, you're right, though. I seen Stewart top 5 in the league rim protector. Stewart is, I don't know what the conversation is. Obviously, I'm coming into either the middle or the end of the conversation here, but Stewart, I said it at the top of the pregame, one of the best rim protectors in the league this season, for sure. His defense has been phenomenal and sorely missed by this Pistons team during his absence. Cunningham crosses over to his right, down the lane, leaves it off inside to Paul Reed for a two-handed slam. And Paul Reed got something to say about it. They cut it back to 9. Champagnie split the free throws, by the way, so it's 93-84. It's a 9-point game going into the fourth quarter. Pistons obviously got to make sure they end the quarter strong here. And a technical flop on Lou Cornett. When was the last? It's a technical foul. It's a technical foul on Luke. I can't even recall the last time that I've seen an official call a technical flopping foul. Cunningham has the free throw, knocks it down. It's an 8-point game. I can't even remember the last time I saw. I can't even remember the last time I saw a flopping technical foul. Finally, reviving the call of the officials here. Maybe they should utilize that more often in the NBA. They get it in the Fox up top. Fox with 10 on the shot clock. They leave him wide open. He sets his feet and fires from 3. He can't get it to go. Luke Cornett battling for the rebound. He can't hold on to it. Here comes LeVert bringing it down. Uh-oh, Spurs. Here come the Pistons. They're making it again. There we go. We're getting our good game. We're getting it. Cade Cunningham has it at the top. It's an 8-point game. They can make it 6 or 5. That put a ton of pressure on the Spurs going into the fourth. Cunningham spins off of Fox. He picks his pocket. Another turnover. But then the ball's knocked loose. Carter Bryant dives for it. And it's a jump ball. 9 seconds to go. 9.5. And it's going to be a jump ball between Carter Bryant and we'll see who. The Flea said, take the sour vitamin C pills daily? I ain't taking nothing. I ain't taking a thing. I'm stubborn like that. Rose Pierce said 2 things holding back the Pistons. First, Duren gets fouled out. Second, Pistons bad field goal scoring. They have almost no turnovers too. Fight for the loose ball off the tip. Knocked out of bounds by Harris. Harris just losing the ball out of bounds. 6 seconds to go. Ball back to the Spurs here. Could have gotten it to 6 or 5. Instead, it might balloon back up to 10. 8-point lead right here for the Spurs. Big defensive stop incoming. Only 6 seconds to go. Got to play solid defense for 6 seconds. Here comes Fox. Fox coming to his left. Bump Euro. Loose ball. Harris picks it up, and there's your defensive stop. 8-point game going into the fourth quarter. You take it 10 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10. By the way, we talked about De'Aaron Fox dominating that first half. 22 first half points. Stuck on 22 points here after 3 quarters now. Cade Cunningham, he's up to 17. 7 for 21 from the field. 7 assists. Handful of turnovers. Look at the box scores before we go into the fourth quarter. Also, hold on. I want to look at the box score real quick of the Suns game. Before we start the fourth quarter. Real quick, we're going to look at this. I want to see what's going on with the Suns. Kaman Maluwak played 7 minutes, 2 points, 4 boards, 2 turnovers, though, for the big man. 2 offensive rebounds. Devin Booker is back. No Mark Williams. Jalen Green is playing, but obviously no Dylan Brooks. Dylan the villain breaking the hand. Benzino said, I don't like taking medicine either. Yeah, I'm not going to take anything. I'll just power through it. I'll just take a hot shower, power through it. That's my mentality. All right, take a look at the box score real quick here before we start the fourth. What are we looking at? What are we looking at overall? Really great off-the-bench contributions. Holland with 10, Stewart with 15, Green with 7, surprise 5 from Herter. I mean, I got to give respect to JB Bickerstaff tonight, knowing his team doesn't have it. He's just searching. He is searching. 6 points for Paul Reed as well in 6 minutes. Paul Reed is making a big case as to probably just deserves minutes in the full rotation, whether fully healthy or not. The Spurs, Wemby with 34, 10, and 3 blocks tonight. 4 for 7 from 3, 10 for 11 from the foul line. The run, it is notable, the run came the final 3 minutes of this third quarter for the Pistons when Victor Wembanyama was subbed out of the game. So now that Victor Wembanyama is going to be back in for majority of this fourth quarter with an 8-point lead, let's see how the Pistons, if the Pistons can continue to fight back here and get this closer to 8. Thomas said Cade has 4 of the 6 turnovers. He does have 4 of the 6 turnovers. It's easy to keep the turnovers down if the ball's in the hands of only one player. But that one player is going to turn it over 4 or 5 times. Here we go. Start of the fourth quarter. Let's do it. Joe said showers help usually too, not just medicine. That's what I like. I mean, if it's just a regular congestion cold or whatever I'm getting, I'll take a hot shower. I sleep a little bit more, and I'll be all right. Paul Reed hedges out hard and fouls Castle. It's already a foul on the Pistons to start the quarter. They have struggled to stay out of foul trouble today, or not out of foul trouble, well, technically out of foul trouble as a team. They struggled to stay out of the bonus tonight. Way too many early fouls for the Pistons. There's already one there for Paul Reed to start the quarter. They get it in the Castle, being guarded by Jenkins. Castle gets it over to Wemby. Foul line. Carter Bryant, right corner 3. Too strong, can't get it to go. Paul Reed with the rebound. Here comes Jenkins pushing the other way. They're pushing in transition. LeVert back to Jenkins. Wide open 3. Can't get it to go. Wemby battling Paul Reed for the rebound. Ball gets knocked loose. Paul Reed chasing it, and Castle knocks it back to Champagnie. It's great to hustle from Paul Reed. He just couldn't end up with it. Jab step for Castle, crossing over, kicks it out. Extra pass to Champagnie. Pump fakes, driving the lane, over to Wemby, kicks it out to Fox. Fox left to wing 3. The ball movement was incredible. They can't get the shot to go down, though. Duncan Robinson, home run pass to LeVert. Euro step down the lane. Gets chased down, blocked by Carter Bryant. I thought that was Wemby with how explosive he was for that block. It was Carter Bryant. Champagnie takes the baseline, gets the layup to go. What an extra effort block for what should have been a wide open layup for Duncan Robinson turns into a chase down, or I think that was LeVert, turns into a chase down block by Carter Bryant. So instead of 6 points, it jumps back up to 10. Harris has it, fall away baseline jumper, got it to go. Bad defense from Carter Bryant, getting stuck on his hip and giving the wide open jumper to Harris there. And it's 95-87. It's back and forth now. Fox crosses over. Down the lane, good defense from Paul Reed. They swing it out to Wemby, the straightaway 3. It wasn't Paul Reed. Who was that? LeVert? Good defense from LeVert previously. Wemby misses the straightaway 3. Here comes LeVert bringing it down. He has it up top, being guarded by Castle. Coming to his left off the Paul Reed screen. Driving it down in the lane. Hesitation. Pump fake. Swings it out. Paul Reed has it at the foul line. Pulls it back out. Ball knocked out of his hands. Fox picks it up. Shot out of a cannon. 1-1 against Dennis Jenkins. Spins in the lane. Hangs in the air. Gets the layup to go. Back up to 10 it goes. Every single time the Pistons have an opportunity to cut it lower than 8, as LeVert will fire the 3 over Wemby too strong. Fox gets it over to Wemby. Wemby will bring it down. Down the lane. Swings through. Floater off glass. Got it to go. Nothing you can do about that one. Nothing you can do about that one. Here comes Dennis Jenkins. Thomas Rowe said Jenkins is not good. JB loves LeVert. And then Jenkins turns it over. Castle knocks it loose. Wemby picks it up. Castle bringing it down, cross-court pass to Fox, pump fakes from 3, driving it down on Paul Reed, kicks it out to Champagnie. He pump fakes, he takes the lane now, he goes up, can't get the layup to go, but draws the foul on Paul Reed, and Champagnie will go back to the foul line for 2, whereas 2 previous trips to the foul line saw him miss at least one of his free throw attempts. So you got to knock down your free throws, Champagnie. You're too good of a three-point shooter to not knock down your free throws. Paul Reed came into the game and gave great effort, great minutes. Now slowing down a little bit. Not as many good decisions. He's now up to 4 fouls in like 8 minutes, so that's not good. Isaiah Gardner said, why is LeVert still in the game? He has 0 points and he's been trash. I think the defense has been solid. He's another ball handler who's not afraid. Whereas like Dennis Jenkins, who's also been just as trash tonight, is also in the game. Like this combination right here, maybe you put in Herbert for one of these guys. I don't know. Maybe you throw in Marcus Sasser for Dennis Jenkins, who can't knock anything down and is honestly playing a little scared tonight against the Spurs. He's very shaky right now. Champagnie knocks down the first free throw. Knocks down the second free throw. There you go, Champagnie. 14-point game. Just like that. They had their opportunities to cut it lower. Cunningham is back in the game. He has it up top. They get over to LeVert. LeVert pulls it out, driving to his left. Kicks it up top. Isaiah Stewart stops and pops for the straightaway 3, or picks and pops for the straightaway 3, and he can't get it to go. He gets it to go. Jeez Louise, I'm stumbling all over my words now. I blame the sickness. Castle has it up top. Coming to his right. Crossing over to his left. Driving it down. Hop step in the lane. Ball knocked out of his hands. He picks it up. Leans in. Kicks it out. Champagnie they leave open somehow. And Champagnie can't make them pay as he comes up short. Rebound to Harris. Cunningham. Hit a head pass to Harris. Harris kicks it out to Stewart. Pump fakes from 3. Has it up top. It's an 11-point game. Hands it off to Cunningham. Cunningham dancing around the Stewart screen. Coming to his right. Driving it down at the foul line. Throws up the floater. Gets swatted out of there by Wemby. Taking one too many dribbles. It's a 4-on-1 fast break. LeVert lobs it up to Wemby, and it's a highlight factory. Spurs are jumping. The building is on fire, and the Pistons bringing it down the other way. Cunningham kicks it out to Stewart. Stewart doesn't want to take the 3, hands it off to LeVert. LeVert pump fakes, driving to his left in the mid-range, swings it out to Harris. Harris driving it down. He'll pull up for the mid-range shot. He can't get it to go. Fight for the loose ball rebound. Ball knocked loose. Keldon Johnson saves it, diving into the crowd. Wemby gets it over to Champagnie, and they'll slow down, wait for the teammates to recover. Never mind, Wemby will fire, and he's going to come up short. Long rebound finds its way to Duncan Robinson. The building would have exploded if Wemby hit that. Here comes Cunningham. And a timeout for the Pistons. And the crowd on their feet, serenading their heroes. 13-point lead with 7.5 to go. Pistons, I give a lot of credit for a lot going against them tonight, with players playing poorly, with Duren in the foul trouble, but still staying close enough to stay competitive. Only a 13-point lead over the Pistons. Only a 13-point lead. Cade Cunningham now 7 for 22 from the field. 4 boards, 8 assists, but also 4 turnovers. Mindset John said, the real test is approaching. The shaking could start happening now for some teams. Experience is key at this point in the season. Come playoff time, experience is always an underrated factor, for sure. For sure. Brandon said, Wemby is good, but he'll slow down in the playoffs. He's never been there. They will not be Denver or OKC, maybe regular season. I mean, definitely the regular season, they'll have a better record than the Nuggets, who are flailing a little bit right now. But yeah, the Pistons and the Spurs, I think, are dark horse championship contending teams, but it's always difficult when you lack that experience to make the full run, right? Like this year is a little bit of a learning curve for both of these teams as they are going into the playoffs with huge expectations, right? And when that happens, we'll see. You know, it's usually not the stars. Usually. Sometimes it is. But it's usually the role players who've never been there before. It's the Dennis Jenkins. It's, maybe Isaiah Stewart's. Duncan Robinson's been there before. Tobias Harris has been there before. It's usually the role players, right? Maybe it's a Ron Holland. Maybe it's an Ausar Thompson. Maybe it's these young guys who haven't been there before. Usually the stars will come through for the most part. Sometimes not. Suns Gen said Rockets Warriors is an exciting overtime. Let's go around the league during this timeout break. (113-110) Warriors Rockets. Timberwolves taking the full lead over the Raptors here. Raptors still stuck in that spot. At one point, maybe threatening for a top 4 seed. Now kind of fading a little bit here as they lost to the Knicks. Now on the verge of losing to the Raptors. Obviously, we have our Pistons Spurs coverage here tonight. We got Bulls Suns about to come out of halftime. It's a 5-point game. Lakers Nuggets just tipping off here. Nuggets need a good victory, man. They're tied in the loss column with the Lakers. It'd be tough to see the Lakers jump the Nuggets in the standings, man. That'd be a tough look. Although they start off 8-0. All right. We got Pelicans Kings just tipping off. The Magic ended up being the Mavs, to be expected. That was a close one, though. That was a close one. Jazz beat the Wizards. We saw that earlier. And the Heat took care of the Nets, as teams tend to do, because the Nets are not good. But here we go. Harris has it. Mid-post being guarded by Keldon Johnson. Pulls it back out. Gets caught in the air. Gets it over to Duncan Robinson. Ran off the line by Dylan Harper. Goes along the baseline. Leaves it off of LeVert against Wemby. Can't get the layup to go. Wemby secures the rebound. Great defense. Again, not entirely sure whether the Pistons continue to attack Victor Wembanyama when they aren't necessarily great at finishing around the rim. I don't know why guys like LeVert and Cunningham and Dennis Jenkins have continued to test Wembanyama in the paint. Wemby attacking. Scoop layup with the left hand pass. Stewart can't get it to go. Harper does a great job of knocking the rebound loose. Johnson picks it up. Wemby, the deep three, can't get it to go. Wemby now settling for some wild shots. I think he's trying to put the dagger in the Pistons right now, but he's taking 2 deep threes and a contested scoop layup trying to get past Isaiah Stewart. Bailing the Pistons out a little bit. The scoop layup, not so much, but the 2 deep threes he just took there, not great shot attempts. Here comes Cade Cunningham bringing it down against Castle. Cade up top. Gets it over to Harris. Harris gets it over to Stewart. Stewart has it up top. Hands it off to Cade. Cade driving to his right. Tries to throw the pocket pass to Stewart, but gets kicked by Wemby. 6:40 to go. We are quickly approaching the halfway point of this fourth quarter. Normally, you would see Cade coming out in the middle of this quarter here. Is he coming out? Cade's going to stay in. Jaylen Duren has yet to make his return to the court, by the way, with the 5 fouls. It's not like they've necessarily needed him during this run, but maybe he could put up a better fight. If he fouls out, he fouls out. They get it into Dennis Jenkins, and Jenkins almost turns it over again, but then gets fouled by Vassell over pursuing the loose ball that he knocked out of the air. Brandon said, Cade is still third in MVP. He most definitely him. I got Wemby over. I have Shea, Jokic, and Wemby over. As Harper jumps the pass into Robinson, and Harper goes the other way for the two-handed slam past Robinson. 15-point lead. I think I got him fourth, though. I mean, we could quibble about him and Wemby in that spot, but, these 2 matches tell you who's a little bit better, in my opinion, who's having a more impactful season. The defense and a foul on Isaiah Stewart holding on to Victor Wembanyama, and the Spurs are like, finally. Isaiah Stewart's been holding guys under the rim all night long, and the Spurs are like, finally, you called it. And the Spurs will bring it down. Cunningham gets it over to Vassell, back to Castle. I said Cunningham. Castle has it up top. Spurs have the ball. Coming to his left off the Wemby screen. Down the lane, bullying his way to the basket. Gets chased down, blocked by Javonte Green. His body's hit the floor. Here comes Cade pushing it the other way. Crosses over. Mid-range pull-up jumper. Comes up short. Doesn't get the bounce. Wemby yet another rebound. He is now sitting with 38 and 14. My goodness, Wemby. Working on a 40 ball and a timeout from the Spurs with 5:44 to go. Brandon said Wemby just has the better team. He's not better. I've seen Wemby go one-on-one against the Pistons' best defenders tonight. He's got Duren completely out of this game. He just took him out. He just said, I'm going to get Jaylen Duren out of this game. Now he's giving buckets to Stewart. He's giving buckets to Paul Reed. One guy's got 38 and 14. And the other guy is shooting 7 for 23 with 8 assists and 5 turnovers tonight. I mean, you know. Wemby also has, like 5 blocks tonight? 4 or 5 blocks? I mean, we could quibble about who's better offensively or who's more impactful offensively, right? I think that one can definitely be edged out by Cade for sure. You want to talk about who's the most impactful defensive player in the league and how little we tend to look at that when we start talking about who's impactful in the basketball league? I mean, we just saw Danis Jenkins catch it about 10 feet away from the basket, wide open, and Wemby standing there under the rim. And Danis Jenkins is like, all right, who can I pass it out to? I might just pass it. I mean, I know I got a wide open floater here, but I'm just going to pass it. Yeah. I mean, Wemby's guarding like 3 guys by himself. Brandon said Wemby is 8 feet tall. Yeah, I mean, but I'm also not like he's 8 feet tall. I'm not going to be like, well, he's 8 feet tall, so I'm going to mark some points off of it. Like, yeah, it's not fair. It's not fair that Wemby grew to 7'6". It's truly not fair for the rest of the league. Trust me, as somebody who's not a Spurs fan, brother, it ain't fair to have to go up against this dude. It kind of just is what it is, though, right? Thomas said, Cade back-to-back garbage, plus he fouled out last Friday. Brandon said, I bet Cade goes deeper in the playoffs. Maybe. Sure. Isaac Garner said, Cade not offensively better than a lot of players. Let's keep it real. For sure. I mean, SGA is more impactful. Jokic obviously more impactful. Off the top of the head. I mean, Cade's up there. Right? You have the conversation about Wemby. You have the conversation about Luka. I'd still, in terms of offense, I'm still leaning towards Luka. Is Luka more impactful? Offensively? Yeah. Defensively? No. Cade edges him out. By far. It's easy to edge out Luka defensively considering he plays almost no defense. Especially this season. And the past couple of seasons. But, yeah, Cade's having a better season than Luka to me, for sure. Harper has it up top. We are past the halfway point. Gets it over to Vassell. Vassell pulls it out. Coming through. I feel like Vassell was barely played in the second half. Lobs it up top to Keldon Johnson, who smokes the layup, and then battle for the loose ball, gets knocked over to Herder. Here comes Cunningham bringing it down. Cunningham has it up top, gets it out to Herder. Herder driving it down, crosses over, gets it out to Robinson, drives the lane in the paint, throws up the floater over Wemby. Got it to go. There you go. See, Duncan Robinson, he's been here before. He's been in high leverage situations. He sees Wembanyama in the paint. He's like, all right, all I got to do is rise up and shoot the floater. No big deal. Other guys getting nervous when they see Wemby down there. Not Duncan Robinson. De'Aaron Fox, though, just puts the ball on the floor. No screen, no nothing. Just using my quickness, getting by the defender, knocking down the scoop layup with the offhand. And now here comes Cunningham pushing it the other way. They get it out to Javonte Green. Green gets it back up top to Cunningham. He's being guarded by Fox. No Castle on the floor. See if Cade can finally get unleashed here. Pull up 3 for Cade. Got it to go for Cade Cunningham. The 3 has been there. For the most part, the 3 has been there for him tonight. He's kept it close with a couple of pull-up 3s here. Here comes Harper bringing it down. Harper has it up top. Surprised still no Duren. I mean, I get it, the way Stewart's playing, but surprised. They get it over to Fox. Fox stepped back right corner 3 looking for an answer, and he's got it. He said, anything you can do, I can do better. Off the dribble, step back corner 3 over to the defender. Got it. Nothing but net. Comes Cade pushing the other way, looking for an answer. They throw a double team. Cade gets it over to Green. Green almost turns it over. Wemby saves it, but right to Herder. Herder takes the lane. Layup against Champagnie. Gets the layup to go for Kevin Herder. And then Stewart and Vassell go nose to nose. I think Arnold said JB in the playoffs is different. Yeah, I mean, we have evidence of Jalen Brunson in almost every playoff run he has been involved in, except his first one. He has just gotten better come playoff time. Right? Superstars are made in the playoffs. If you want to be a superstar, you got to make your name in the playoffs. Cade will have his opportunity this year. Wemby will have his opportunity this year. Young players getting their first cracks at it. I also didn't give the Herder that layup there. It's a 13-point game still with 4 minutes to go. Not out of the realm of possibility the Pistons get hot here and make it interesting. Suns Gen said, yikes, KD just blew 2 free throws that lost the game. I bet Spurs fans were loving it. Spurs. I bet Suns fans were loving it. Right? Thomas said Spurs are winning the championship. Hard for me to see a team that did not even make the playoffs last year then go on to win the championship this year. Hard for me to see it. I don't think it's impossible, but I think it's a long shot. Scoreboard, what's up, Scoreboard? News on Thompson? We've had the news on Thompson for a while. He didn't start the second half, so he is out with an ankle sprain. No timetable for a return on, when he'll come back in the season. Is it a week, 2 weeks? We don't know yet. We don't know that. Brandon said Ivy before the injury from last year on this team is what they're missing. I know healthy Ivy, speed and 40% ball will give Spurs problem for sure. For sure. We got to blame Cole Anthony. Jaden Ivey was one of my favorite players in his draft class. He was one of my favorite players in his draft class. Really loved watching him during that tournament run. Really wanted Purdue to go far. And was rooting for him when he got into the league. And unfortunately, the injury robbing us of those prime Jaden Ivey years. Stewart. Wemby has it up top. Hands it off to Fox. Fox has been dynamic here as the closer, driving it down to his left. Pulls it back out, has it up top, shot clock running down, being guarded by Cunningham. Off the dribble, pull up 3, can't get it to go. Herter with the rebound, good boxing out from the Pistons. And they get it over to Cunningham, bringing it down. Castle back in. Cunningham coming to his left, spins to his right. He's got Vassell on him now. He's going to put him in the post, spins off of him, driving it down, step back, fall away, baseline jumper. Got it to go for Cade. He's heating up here in this quarter. I don't know why they gave him 3 there. All right, they took it away. It's back to 11. Here comes Vassell, bringing it down. Vassell has it up top, being guarded by Harris. Coming to his right, off the Wemby screen, cross-court pass, Champagnie, left corner 3. A little bit of a back-breaking 3 there for Champagnie. Just as the Pistons were starting to heat up a little bit, Cade's starting to heat up a little bit. Champagnie knocks down a big corner 3. Stewart attacking Vassell, he knocks the ball loose. Stewart picks it up. Wemby switches back onto him, so he kicks it out to Harris. He's being guarded by Champagnie. Driving to his right. Stops. Sees a double team. Pulls it back out. Kicks it over to Cunningham. Cunningham driving to his right. He's got a lane. Kicks it back out. Harris, left corner 3. He can't answer. Loose ball. Javonte Green mistimes his jump, and Wemby easily snags it. And now here comes Fox pushing the other way. Blows right past Kevin Herter. But he loses the ball on the way up. And now here comes Cunningham off the turnover. Or off the missed shot, I guess. Cunningham to pull up 3. He rattles it in. And Cade's got something to say to the fans. And the foul on Castle. 4-point play possibility coming up for Cunningham to cut it to 10 with 2:30 to go. Cade refusing to let his team go down without a fight tonight. He's now 10 for 26 from the field. 25 points for Cade Cunningham with the 8 assists and 4 or 5 turnovers. Cunningham knocks down his and 1 free throw. It's a 10-point game. Here comes Vassell. Gets it over to Castle. Castle bringing it down. Castle up top, coming to his right. Off the Wemby screen, driving it down. Kicks it up top to Wemby. Wemby takes the lane. Steps through to the rim. Gets blocked by Stewart. Weak layup attempt from Wemby. Great defense by the Pistons. Javonte Green to the rim. Gets blocked by Vassell, but rebound back to Green. He gets blocked by Wemby on the recovery. Rebound to Vassell. Hit ahead to Castle to the rim. Layup and 1 over Cunningham. Giving him a taste of his own medicine as the Spurs go back up by 12. Defense leading to offense. Sudu Barry, what's up, Sudu? Namar, what's up, Namar? Namar said, hopefully the Pistons lose. I want that first seed. Knicks are not getting that first seed, brother. They're not getting that first seed. First seed's going to go to the Pistons for sure. That's Wemby's, like 6th block tonight? My goodness. And Castle knocks down his and 1 free throw. Wemby, 5th block. 5th block. They get it over to Cunningham up top, being guarded by Castle. Coming to his right off the screen. Vassell switches onto him. They show 2. They get it in the Green. Green kicks out to Stewart. Extra pass to Herter. Ran off the line by Vassell in the recovery. Herter driving it down. Loses the hand on the ball. Gets it over to Green. Fires the 3. Gets fouled by Wemby. What a terrible foul by Wemby. Just let Green shoot that 3, brother. Let Green shoot that 3. jump straight up. Don't jump forward. You're 12'3". Show Ken. What's up, Show Ken? Namar said, it's a possibility that we get the second team. It is possible. It is possible. Jason Tatum returning tomorrow, though. He might have something to say about that. So Javonte Green at the foul line for, I believe, 3 free throws here. Both teams in the bonus for the final minute and a half. Knocks down the first one. He's got another one to come for sure. Ant-Man poster alert. It was an Ant-Man poster yet again, I guess. Knocks down the second one. And it is 3 free throws for Javonte Green. Green, one more coming, can get it back to 10. Thomas Rose said Pistons are getting bounced in round 1. Depends on that opponent. That East play-in does not look formidable, I'll tell you that. Castle gets it into Vassell, gets it over to Wemby, gets it back to Castle. Castle bringing it down. They get over to Fox, he sees a double team, gets it over to Castle, springs it out. Champagny, wide open left corner 3, got it to go. Ultimately, when you try to pressure in the backcourt and you have a really good, really smart passing team like the Spurs, as long as they can get it past the half-court line, they're probably going to end up with a wide open look. Green to the rim, gets it blocked by, looks like by Fox. Home run past the Castle to the rim. Gets chased down, blocked by Cunningham. It gets fouled and knocked to the floor. 2 more free throws for Castle. And that is going to pretty much wrap it up there. If Castle knocks down these 2 free throws, up by 13, can put them up by 15 with 1:10 to go. KZ, we just got the same alert. Gotta have those ESPN alerts just in case. You never know. You never know. Castle at the foul line for 2. Pretty good free throw shooter. And just as I say that, I give him the commentator's curse. He misses the first one. He's got another one coming. 13-point lead. Dennis Jenkins is in. Dennis Jenkins tossed up an 0 for today. 0 points, 1 assist, couple turnovers. Castle comes up short but gets the friendly roll. At least knocks down the second one. And a minute to go, a little over a minute to go. Cunningham has it up top. They show a double team. They get it over to Jenkins. Jenkins gets it over to Green. Wide open left corner 3. Can't get it to go. Fox to rebound, and that will pretty much do it. Spurs bringing it down the other way, and they're going to dribble out the clock. Or as much of it as they can. They get over to Fox. They're not going to take the turnover. They're still going to get a shot up. Too much time left in the game. Vassell, 10 minutes to go. Spins off of Cunningham. Cunningham fouls him. He fouls that on Cunningham now. I believe that's his 5th foul. They show 4 here. It might change it to 5. Either way, 4 or 5 fouls for Cade Cunningham. No Jaylen Duren in the 4th quarter. I don't know about that. I don't know about benching Jaylen Duren. He didn't foul out. He picked up 5 fouls. Picked up 5 fouls early in the 3rd, and we didn't see him the rest of the game. Unless I'm mistaken. Unless he picked up 6. Check it real quick here. Yeah, only the 5 fouls. He ends the night playing 12 minutes on 5 fouls. I think that's a terrible decision by J.B. Bickerstaff. Terrible decision. Might have possibly cost his team the game today. And the Spurs, maybe they win it no matter what. But, my goodness. No Jaylen Duren almost at all in the second half here. Crandon said, my Wolves take care of the Raptors, and I appreciate you for it, Crandon, and I appreciate you for it. Gotta say it twice. Gotta say it twice in a row for dramatic and emphatic effect. Vassell knocked down the first one. Misses the second one. But Vassell intentionally fouls to get the guys off the court. And the end of the guys coming on the court here, that's going to pretty much wrap it up. And Jaylen Duren's going to end the night with only 12 minutes. Scored 7 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists in his 12 minutes. I think really, I shouldn't say really bad decision, but I think weird and ultimately bad decision by JB Bickerstaff to not ever go back to Duren. I get he had the 5 fouls. I get he was not disciplined today. He still had 7 points and 7 rebounds in 12 minutes. You know? Like, you could still put the pressure on guys. I think sneaking him in there every now and again, put him in there for a couple of minute stretch, pull him back out. Put him in there for a couple of, like, he's still your second best player. I think completely going away from him really put you on the back foot where you're super reliant on Stewart, who plays 30 minutes today. You're reliant on a little bit of Paul Reed, who for the first, 5 or 6 minutes was solid, and in the last 3 or 4 minutes, not so much. Ron Holland got minutes. He kind of really only went to... No, he tried everybody tonight. Not enough Sasser minutes. Too much Danis Jenkins, 14 minutes, 0 for 6 from the field in a big game against the Spurs. Didn't give you anything. And I think ultimately, Grant said, damn, Cade, 10 for 26. Inefficient. It was a really bad Cade Cunningham game. He got it going a little bit in that fourth quarter. It was worse than this, Crandon. It was worse than this. It was like 7 for 21, 7 for 22 at one point. He knocked down a couple of shots at the end there to just pull it to like around 10, but could never get it any closer than that. Thomas said Danis Jenkins got paid and hasn't done anything. Competition got a little tougher. And when expectation is put upon your shoulders, it's a little bit more difficult out there. A little bit more difficult. Isaiah Stewart played 30 minutes, and shout out Isaiah Stewart. I thought he was fantastic in his minutes, but just got extended a little too much. 30 minutes for Isaiah Stewart, a little too much for me. 6 rebounds in 30 minutes. Jaylen Duren, 7 rebounds in 12 minutes. Still your best rebounder, still your second best player, still the best pick and roll partner for Cade Cunningham, and to just decide to never put him back out there, like, allow him to pick up the 6th foul. Allow him to do that. Ended the night with 5 fouls. Picked up 5 fouls like 2 minutes into the third quarter. And then we didn't see him the rest of the night. Terribly coached game by JB Bickerstaff tonight. Terrible. I'll give him credit. He searched. 12 minutes for Ron Holland feels very low too. 10 points, 4 for 6 from the field, 5 rebounds. I would have went with Ron Holland a little bit more often just for the chaos. Just with him causing a ton of chaos out there, the athleticism, the defense he can provide. Javonte Green played more. Yeah, Javonte Green played 18 minutes. It's not like he was a marksman out there. He's 1 for 3 from three-point range. I would have won with Ron Holland. JB Bickerstaff had this issue in Cleveland as well, and it's part of the reason why he got fired. I don't think JB Bickerstaff is a great coach. I think he's a good coach. Clearly, he's a good coach. You don't get to this point with a 45-15 record without being a good coach. Now 45-16 record, I believe. You don't get to this point without being a very good coach. But he's not a great coach. Very far from it. Some of these rotation decisions, really bad when looking at it here. Just that said, Thompson hurt for good. It just looked like a rolled ankle. Any word on him? Other than he was questionable to return. No, I could look at it now. Again, refresh the page over here. See if they have any other updates on him. But, no updates. Oh, Ron Holland, left eye, will not return. That was why he only played a couple of minutes. Okay, he gets an excuse there. Okay, good to know that. Good to see that. So I don't kill him too much. As far as, you'll get an evaluation and a full timetable for Ausar Thompson probably tomorrow morning or something, or tomorrow afternoon. We're not going to get it right now just as the game ended. It just looked like a rolled ankle, probably a week or two or so, but nothing too serious to look like for Ausar Thompson. Yak said injuries hurt Houston. Great year. It was supposed to be a great year for Houston. It's still obviously a good regular season. And they'll make some noise in the playoffs, but no Fred VanVleet, and then also losing Steven Adams, they're too important for what they were trying to do this year and compete for a championship. Just that, did Wemby taking 24 in a playoff game is a win for the Spurs? Would be. Chi-Chi, what's up, Chi-Chi? Yeah, Duren is alleged number 2, laughable. LaMelo, one-legged three-pointer is bouncing them in the first round. Listen, man, we could take a look at the standings right now if you want to. We can take a look at the standings here. The Charlotte Hornets would have to end up as the 8 seed. Now, they will definitely end up as the 8 seed should they remain in the 9-10 area. But as you can see, they're only 2 games behind Miami and Orlando to battle for the 7th and 8th seed, and also only 2.5 games away from Philadelphia to battle for the 6th seed. So if we really want Detroit to end up playing Charlotte, which I believe they will, if Charlotte remains in the 9-10 slot, that's where they have to stay. So Atlanta, do your job. Keep Charlotte hovering around here. Miami, Orlando, do your jobs hovering them around there. Don't allow Charlotte to climb up to that 6 seed, which they could, because then they'll be playing the 3 seed, which could be the Knicks. Don't allow them to jump up into this slot, the 7 or 8 seed, because if they win that first game, they end up as the 7 seed, and they would have to play the 2 seed, which could be the Knicks or the Celtics. As long as the Charlotte Hornets end up playing the Pistons or the Celtics in whatever scenario that ends up being, keep that. Because them Charlotte Hornet boys are different this year. Boy, oh boy, are they hooping. Their net rating is now up to 3.8. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th. Technically, if you want to go by net rating, they are or differential, which is not net rating, my bad, differential. They are the 5th best team in the NBA. They should be where the Toronto Raptors are, as the 5th seed. So all the Knicks have to do is take care of business and stay away from Charlotte in that first round. I'm not afraid of Charlotte. I think the Knicks would still beat them in a 7-game series, but that Charlotte team is taking a bite out of you. That's a good Charlotte team. Namar said Mike Brown is better than JB Bickerstaff. Mike Brown, Tom Thibodeau, Joe Mazzulla, Kenny Atkinson. Maybe Kenny Atkinson's better than JB Bickerstaff. Maybe Nick Nurse. I think he's kind of in that range. He's in that range. But I definitely take Mike Brown, Joe Mazzulla over JB Bickerstaff. I think ultimately, I don't think you can win this Pistons team, this iteration of the Pistons team, can win a championship with JB Bickerstaff as their coach. I don't think he pushes the right buttons at the right amount of time during a game with his substitutions and his decision-making with what he can do. So, Pistons take a loss. They drop to 45-16. The Knicks, 6 games behind them in the standings. You never know. Obviously, they're not going to catch them, but one can dream. One can dream. So we will be back tomorrow with more Knicks basketball coverage. The Knicks will be taking on the Denver Nuggets. It's a little bit of a later start. Remember that, y'all. Remember that. A little bit of a later start being at 9 p.m. So we will be live at 8:30. Other things of note, ESPN game, Mavericks Celtics. ESPN game, why? The return of Jason Tatum taking place. It's going to be a fun one, going to be good. Can't wait for it. I will be watching, but we will not be live because we have a Knicks game at 9. If this Knicks game tipped off at 9:30, we'd do the double coverage. We'd cover the Tatum return, and then we'd stay live for the Knicks coverage, obviously. But it being a 7 o'clock start and the Knicks game being a 9 o'clock start, that's only a 2-hour difference. We're not going to be able to cover the entirety of the Celtics game. And ultimately, I don't want to do like partial coverage of the game before swapping over to the Knicks. Knicks take precedent over every other team. So, unfortunately. Gigi said, how many games remaining for us? I can do the math for you right now. 40 and 23. That's 63 games played. So we have 19 games remaining. 19 games remaining. Yak said, we'd love to see the Celtics playing the Hornets in the first round. I'm going to be tuned in to either Hornets Celtics or Hornets Pistons. That will be an incredibly fun first round series. My goodness, will it be fun. Just that's it, playing 83 this year. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. As champions. As champions. Remember, the Knicks are championships this season no matter what. They already won their championship. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys. DeMar said I want the 2 seed badly. I could go either way. It's not that big of a deal to me. Gigi said we're getting that 2nd seed. We'll see. Like I said, not that big of a deal to me. It is a big deal, obviously, to get as high of a seed as he possibly can. But I think ultimately I want to get to the playoffs healthy, playing good basketball, and that's what the Knicks are doing. So as long as they continue to do what they do, get Deuce McBride back healthy for the playoff run, then we're set, ready to go. I can't wait. Can't wait. Just that said, Cavs are difficult. Cavs are difficult. But I'm not worried about Harden with a broken thumb in a playoff setting because we know his history in the playoffs. And I'm also not worried about them weak boys down there in the paint when we got Mitchell Robinson, Karl Anthony Towns playing the way that they're playing. So they'll be tough. It won't be a sweep. But I think the Knicks have the edge in a series against the Cavs. Benzino, maybe. K. Hazy, Hornets facing their way into the playoffs is good basketball. It's great basketball. Great basketball. They just dominated the Celtics last night. It was a great game. It was a great game. But we're going to wrap it up there. Namar said, any updates on Deuce McBride? Ian Begley said the other day that there's still optimism. They said nothing's changed in the feeling around the Knicks that he should be back sometime around the end of the regular season, before the playoffs. It's not 100% guaranteed, obviously, but they're pretty confident that he'll be back for at least a couple of games before we go into the playoffs in the regular season here. But so he'll be back in, 16 games or so, which is like 3 more weeks. Middle of April, end of the regular season, he'll be back. Hopefully. That is kind of the expectation. Nick Yak said 14-5, we end up with 55 wins. Well, we got a really tough schedule to end the season here, so 14-5 would obviously be a phenomenal record, but they got a lot to overcome here. Just that said, Deuce will be our secret weapon. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people have slept on Knicks missing probably their 6th man in Deuce McBride this season. So get Deuce back, get fully healthy, go on the playoff run. Number 1 priority, for sure. You guys keep putting stuff in the comments, and I appreciate you for it. Justice's dad, Nick Yak, K. Hazy, Namar, Benzino, appreciate you guys. Chi-Chi, appreciate you. Shout out to all the channel members. Shout out Jacob Ball earlier in the chat with the super chats and the gifted membership. My goodness, but I don't know if you guys could hear it in my voice either way. Feeling a little on the weather. We don't stop our coverage though, so we're going to wrap it up here. And we're going to get ready for the Knicks game tomorrow, where I will be bringing the energy no matter how I'm feeling, because it should be a good game. Knicks at Denver. At Denver will be a good game. Denver's playing today, aren't they? So second night of a back-to-back for Denver? Yeah, they're playing the Lakers tonight. So that's good. That ends up being good for the Knicks, right? Ends up being good. So I appreciate you guys. Nick Yak said he's a better with the team after the road trip. Oh, he better be with the team after the trip. I think he's traveling with them. If that's what you mean. I think he's traveling with them. He traveled with them during their last game to Toronto. So I think he's going to travel with the team. Just that's it, smoking the Nuggets tomorrow. They'll be on the second night of a back-to-back. So definitely will have an opportunity to play well. Oh, my goodness. But also got to remember they're going to be in altitude. So the Knicks usually struggle when going up to altitude for the first time. It's usually against the Utah Jazz, but it would be against the Nuggets this time. Raphael, what's up, Raph? For call, y'all. What's up, Raph? Nice little run y'all went on. But Boston's back. Jason Tatum makes his return tomorrow, brother. I'm excited. Just that's to take a nap tomorrow. If I got time. If we got time. I mean, it is a 9 o'clock start time. We should have time. I want to watch that Celtics game, though. Jason Tatum's returning, brother. It's a big deal. I can't wait for it. It's going to be a good one. Namar said, I'm rooting for the Nuggets to win against the Lakers so the Knicks can beat them tomorrow. Fair. With that being said, y'all, you keep hanging me around. I keep wanting to talk to you guys, but I do got to go lay down. So I appreciate you. We will be back tomorrow to talk about it all over again. Remember to brush teeth before bed. Stay hydrated, and I'll catch you on the next one. Good night, everybody. Bye.